Alright, friends. We are coming back here to the dungeons and world. Just a sec. Gotta get the voices here. Hello!
Hello.
So, for those of you that have been watching us play some Final Fantasy XIV, I do actually Paladin. I do. I think it gives me like a wheel that spins or something like that. I don't know what it does. Anyways, I'll see in a second how the giveaway works. This is my first time using it. I can't see who's entered. I can see that, I can't even actually see how many people have entered. You guys can see that because you view the stream. Yeah. But for those of you who haven't watched before, this is our Dungeon World Tabletop campaign. We do this Sunday mornings at 9, so, in like 3 minutes. This is it's, imagine like D&D, but with like better dice. And we're gonna be playing some. Today. We got me as Jaylin the fighter. Looks like this guy right here, and we got Elle as Elle the thief. She's right there, and we got Dio as Kethra the cleric. Right there, right, and we got Martkos, who I've never heard before, as Mathin the druid, and he's like right there, and I can move him for some reason. And we have Yumi as Meredith the barbarian, and she's right there. She's looking pretty fly for a white guy right now. And then we have our little companions. This is Elle's companion Blue, the winged puppers, and we have who is essentially now Kethra's kid. I mean, what? Kethra has kid.
It looks like Yumi's getting down to some camp making down there with whatever.
The sexy swamp lady friend.
Sexy swamp lady friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. But let's go ahead and draw ourselves a winner of the giveaway and see how this works. In giveaway, winner is Yarzori.
My God!
Congratulations, Yarzori. Let me know in like a whisper or a Twitch message which minion you want, and I'll try to get that to you after the stream. But congrats and thank you for your continued support. Yeah! You won! You won a minion from the Mog Station of your choosing. So, here we are.
All right. Congratulations on winning this minion. So, Pook.
Do we want to wait on Dio, or?
Oh, yeah.
Dio had a cat to murder.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Actually, while Dio is murdering the cat, Pook, will you give a very quick wrap up of last session?
I'm terribly sorry about that. I have returned.
Okay, so last session was the session where we met with the Nyad here, and we were on our way to the other well, like the other pool of water, because it was like really important water that was going to heal Kethra. Kind of important, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And why did Kethra need to be healed?
Because Kethra got hit with necrotic magic from an orc that was really evil and cursed her, and she'd been asleep for most of it, and we'd been carrying her around and stuff, and it was not pretty. That was a few sessions ago.
Yeah. And
so we went on a journey to find this this pool of blessed water. And we encountered a few challenges, like a tree ant that we convinced to let us cross the water, and a group of bears, which I was asleep for, because of something else that happened, and then there was a dragon, and a dragon with a baby, and I remember those. I'm really bad at this. Somebody else should recap. Go!
I think that was a very good recap, actually.
Yeah.
Indeed. I think that was good enough. But
Good enough.
good enough. And the reason you have Iago in your party right now is he's actually not a human being. He is a little baby dragon that has taken human form. And he has become your ward because you made a promise to the Emerald Dragon, the guardian of the World Tree, to become his guardian so that he could grow up and survive all the evil things that are out to destroy the dragons and destroy the world and destroy all of you.
Iago is my son. That's all I
And
have to say.
Excuse me.
instantly, both Elle and Kethra felt a mystical connection to Iago, and hadn't had a lot of time to explore it. But you guys got to make camp and check out with the Nyad and do a few things. And Jaylin, you notice at one point while you and Mathin are having a conversation with Meredith that Kethra and Elle kind of slip off for a little bit. What is Mathin and Jaylin and Meredith? What are you three talking about when they do?
Jaylin's not talking about anything.
Then what is Jaylin doing if he's not talking?
He's just kind of hanging out near them as they talk. Jaylin's kind of been quiet.
All right.
I mean, Jaylin's been even like more quiet than his usual quiet.
Alrighty then. In that case, Mathin and Meredith, what are the two of you talking about?
I imagine we'd probably be talking about this new task that we've been given by the dragon to head to this tainted land.
And as the two of you are having that discussion, Iago comes up to you both. We're gonna send Kethra and Elle away for right now. And Blue goes with them. And he goes, "There's something wrong." Oh wait, I'm on the wrong map. That wouldn't help you guys at all to see me moving your people around. Let me move to the proper map.
There's no proper map. All maps are wrong.
Your face is a proper map.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
Savage.
Savages. Oh wait, sorry.
Savages.
Savages.
Oh, we've
I
been moved
can't
into
even
the
see
abyss.
myself anymore.
And
Apparently the
And he
temple's
goes-
moved as well.
I was just
yep,
thinking
yep,
that.
went away. Everything went away. There. And he goes, "There's something wrong.
What is it?
I'm stuck."
Jaylin,
I'm gonna
He's
look
like,
down at
and
his
he's
feet.
like gripping on his hands.
You need
Is
a
there
mic up
anything
more.
on his hands?
Always and tugging his hands together, and he's tugging on his earlobe, and he goes, I'm stuck."
Jaylin is laughing. He's trying not to. He's like behind his hands.
And Iago stamps his foot and goes, "That's not funny." And then he goes, "Wait, I feel my tail." And he's like twitching his rump. And then he's trying to peer around and he goes, "But I don't see it." And then he starts spinning in a circle like he's trying to touch and grab his own tail, but it's not there. So he's spinning in a circle.
But Jaylin actually stops him by putting hands on his shoulders and goes, just calm down and give it time. It happens to me too.
Oh.
And Iago takes a deep breath and he goes, "All right, but this is awkward."
Tell me about it.
And he goes, But you were born human, at least, right?
Yeah.
Meredith's gonna pipe up and say, as far as he knows.
There's that.
And then Iago kind of brightens up and goes, "Wow, maybe you weren't. Maybe you were born with 4 feet, like a proper person."
I like Iago. He's funny.
Let's not think about that. The Nyad is just getting closer and closer to Meredith.
Say the Nyad totally wants to make out with Meredith. Jeez.
Meredith and the Nyad have absolute permission to go sneak off and make out.
Yay!
We are, after all, making camp.
that is a possibility. That actually is a possibility.
It is
Jaylin has no
absolutely
clue.
true. I want to get a little with Jaylin.
It's
And-
dark. I'm scared.
And he goes, and then Jaylin actually turns Iago towards Mathin and goes, "Maybe you should talk to him about that."
And Iago gets a big grin on his face, and he jumps on Mathin, like on his back, and he wraps his arms around him, and he goes, "Fix me."
And Mathin looks super uncomfortable at being, touched and leaped on, and just, this strange dragonkin. No, yeah. Would Mathin have any idea of, his shape-shifting stuff? Is it completely different from his own?
Roll intelligence. Let's see what you know about dragon lore.
Yumi, did you change your name again?
What? No.
You changed your fucking name again?
To be fair, you're the one that put this name in my head, so it's entirely your fault.
Yumi forever.
I love it. I love you so much, Yumi.
Mathin, you're thinking about it, while you've been living in this forest, and you've actually had a conversation with another druid that named Nelius, and Nelius had commented about the shape shifting of the forest and whatnot, that dragons are shapeshifters too, but they learn how to control it much more slowly. And that sometimes, especially young dragons, the first time they shapeshift into something else, it's usually a humanoid, and they usually stay that way for months or even years before they can shape back.
Okay. Yeah, so Mathin's going to kneel down and let Iago slide off of his back, and then sort of eye level look at him and explain that this is a natural part of being a dragon, and that he doesn't need to worry that he's now stuck in this form for a little while, and that he will be able to change it back eventually.
The look of shock and horror on his face is like, that's a long time. It's like, oh no. And then he sighs, and he just flops down in the grass, and he goes, "Well, you'll have to teach me how to be a human." And he looks right at Jaylin.
Jaylin.
And he goes, "Okay," he goes, "You're human, and you're a boy. So, what did you do when you were my age?"
Oh.
Jaylin actually stops for a second and thinks about it, and he goes, I don't remember.
Jaylin, roll wisdom.
7.
And and you don't remember what it was like to be that young, but seeing him just being so playful and kind of happy and bouncy, you get the sense that you were a lot like that once upon a time. And then everything changed.
Yeah. And he
Did the
just
Fire Nation attack?
he actually kneels down. And he goes. We'll figure something out. We'll find something for you to do. He goes, stick by my side.
And he goes, okay. Meanwhile, as all of this is going on,
It's like, do we have
yeah,
a practice
Elle,
sword? Do I
and
give the
Kethra,
dragon a sword?
and Blue,
Yeah.
the three of you had just been having a conversation of your own. And discussing the things that had gone on the previous day. And Elle, what is on your mind right now?
What's on Elle's mind is actually still what happened back at the guild. Like like she's after the day's events before, she remembered that they still haven't really talked about it as a group.
Do you feel a compulsion to maybe go back to the group as a whole and talk about it all?
Not yet.
Okay. Kethra, Elle had just given you something. Tell the other players what Elle had just given you.
Is it treatable?
No.
Okay.
Herpes. No, wait.
Do we need to go at the pool again?
Was she testing one of her
No.
poisons?
No, Elle has just given me a vial of her own blood. She has decided. Oh, she confided in Kethra that she has been trying since the days of the guild to follow the teachings of Bel, of this god of secrets, but she has not felt successful in that. And so Kethra had suggested that they maybe go off and commune with Bel together, that she could guide Elle and maybe help her find that connection that she'd been longing for. And that the main way to do that is to offer up a secret of sorts. And she suggested that perhaps a sacrifice of her own blood would be that secret.
And as you get that, as you've said that, and as you have it in your hand, you feel a pull towards the temple.
Okay. So I'm just going to suggest to Elle that now's as good a time as any. Everybody else seems a little bit distracted, so we've got time. We've got the privacy to do it.
Yeah, I agree. Now it's better than ever.
And the wolf guardian of the temple, who has assumed a human shape herself, and is a very pale, elvish looking figure with long, flowing white hair and dressed in a wolf cloak, greets you all and welcomes you into the temple and assures you that you are free to perform whatever prayers or rituals within it that you so choose.
Okay. So I'm going to lead Elle. There's like a central chamber where there's an altar laid out, and I'm going to lead her to that altar. I actually have, from our very first mission at the Thieves Guild, I still have the candle that I stole from the Temple of Bell there. And I have actually been using that myself as the candle, as the light source during my own times of communion with Bell. So I pull that out of my pouch, and I set that up on the altar, and I light it. And then I'm gonna actually break open the vial and pour it in like a line across the altar in front of the candle, and beckon Elle over. And we're gonna get on our knees, and I'm gonna start praying. I'm gonna tell her, close your eyes, and then I'm just gonna start praying to Bell.
And Kethra and Elle both hear a deep whisper. The voice is neither masculine or feminine, and it's neither kindly nor cruel. The sound is like a shadow, and it just coils around in a manner that is almost a caress. Images begin to flash through both their minds, and they behold a blonde young man and his sister, who the sister isn't any older than Iago appears to be now that he's assumed a human form. The older boy, however, is in his late teens, and he's being taken away by a soldier as a conscript to join the army. And the young girl is just standing back with her parents, and she's crying, and she's calling out his name, trying to chase after the soldiers. And she just screams, "James!" And she's shrieking and trying to get to him, but her father is pulling her back. And there's suddenly, as the soldiers are leaving, and there's just this dark, cold shadow that starts to cover over the little girl and both of her parents. But as the two of you are standing away, you can feel Bell wrapping his shadow around you protectively, because this other spiritual being is not him. And to you, it's just like being invisible witnesses. And you see what looks like a tiny molten um, ruby, or maybe a piece of amethyst, suddenly strikes the mother in the eye. And she hisses, and she just tightens her grip on the girl. And then the woman's eyes, no, the little girl doesn't see it, and the father doesn't see it. But the mother, her eyes take on for a second that same color as the bloodstone in the cultist dagger that Elle had gotten from the pirate ship. And you both remember Quinn talking about those blood rubies as being created by an organization called the Zodiac for the cult of Visago. And the dream just starts to warp and shift. And the two of you witness that same mother and daughter, but they're a decade older in appearance. And now the mother shows every sign of being completely in the thrall of Visago. Just chaotic, evil emanations are just pouring out of her. And she almost seems to be like she senses you and is looking for you, but Belle is keeping you hidden from her and hidden from that demonic force that had Farland City under its thrall. And then you both hear Belle whisper to you all, "Ankh Checula was once the only true being that Visago and the Mad God both feared, and only her champions could resist their corruptions." And you see that same brother who was a young boy now as a kind of a middle-aged man standing on the edge of a jagged mountain precipice, overlooking an endless, colorless abyss. And just with a malevolent expression on his face, and he's laughing as if he's mocking something within the abyss. And Belle says, "But the obsidian dragon sacrificed her material incarnation to become more than the draconic guardian of life and death. And it was your maternal human ancestors, Eliandro called Elle, who saved the Emerald Dragon." And then there's a brief image of you guys, of the whole party, swearing your oath to the Emerald Dragon and Iago becoming your ward. And then the voice continues. "Jaylin is far from the only descendant of kings and heroes within your party. Your father, Eliandra, was elf, but also dragon-blooded. This is a gift and a curse to have the blood of Grekana, who called himself Wiro, within your veins. It was Wiro who unleashed Visago, and those who worship one are easily enthralled by the other. Demonkind will forever seek to corrupt and pervert the champions and their gods." And then there is an image of Bel himself, wrapped in a shadow cloak, hidden within one of his temples within the city that both of you had called home, that the guild had been in. And Bel throws open his cloak, and you see the god as a shadowy being that's being wrapped in ruby and amethyst colored chains. And then the two of you behold jagged mountain peaks and recognize one of them as where that mysterious doomed figure called James is just standing beholding the abyss. But you suddenly feel like you are flying in the air aboard the back of some huge reptilian creature, possibly a dragon. And Belle says, "In the towering mountains in Frostheim, the All-Father's children have secrets hidden within their vaults. Find their secrets and bring them to me." And then the vision ends.
Okay.
And I'll give you a moment to think about all that.
That's awesome.
So, Elle.
You're gonna have to give me a moment.
By all means.
I think I need a smoke after that.
Right? It was good.
You go take your smoke. We're gonna go back to the ranch. And Iago is like very playfully poking at Jaylin and going, teach me how to eat as a human.
All right. So he's going through. They probably have some food still from their last meal, their own rations and stuff. And he's going through like various foods and explaining what each of them are, as far as he knows. So he's just letting Iago try them out one at a time. It's like no, not like this. Like okay, like this. Like okay.
And Iago's like picked up a piece of jerky, and he's like twisting it back and forth, and he goes, "It smells like animal, but it smells like animal that's been on fire."
Yeah. We warm up our meat with fire. Makes it
And
taste different.
Iago's looking at that, going like, "On purpose?"
Mm-hmm. Try it.
And he popped it in his mouth.
It goes
And
little chewy.
Oh yeah, chewy. And so he's like chewing and chewing and chewing and chewing. And then he swallows it. And he goes, animals are better raw. And then he brightens and he goes, can we go hunting?
Jaylin's like, shh, let's wait for the others.
And Iago points at his sword and he goes, what's that?
This is what I hunt with.
And then he points at Meredith's axe and he goes, what's that?
That's what she hunts with.
And then he points at Mathin's staff and goes, what's that?
I don't know.
And his eyes are like twinkling mischievously.
And he goes, and so Jaylin's like,
And then
he's like, would you like to learn how to use one of these? And he points at the sword.
And he looks at the sword and he gets excited. And then he looks at the axe and he gets excited. And he points at both of them at once. And he goes, I want to see you guys hunt each other. But not to kill each other. Just for fun. Which of you is better?
Meredith will will look at Jaylin. Just with the knowing look.
And Jaylin says, well, that would be interesting to find out.
And then he points at Mathin and he goes, Mathin wants to know too, don't you, Mathin?
And Mathin's gonna chuckle and move back a few steps and just sit down in the grass and pat for Iago to come over and say, yeah, I would definitely like to see this.
And
Jaylin goes, thank you for the help.
And Iago's like eating at this point probably like some berries that have been gathered along the way as people have foraged for food, and he's like munching down on Jaylin's berries like they're popcorn and cheering him and Meredith on.
He's like, this kid is gonna eat me out of house and home. Wait, and Jaylin looks at Meredith and goes, shall we?
Meredith will just stand and wield her axe.
All right. Both of you make hack and slash roll, but don't roll damage.
Aw, I don't get to kill him?
Not
No.
if you want to.
I don't want to. Come on. What's up, Jaylin?
Yeah.
You want to you want to take on my dice today?
So as the two of you are just you're wheeling and you're flashing and you're both excellent. But Jaylin, what you realize is while Meredith is shorter, that axe of hers is freaking huge.
Yeah.
And you're having trouble with your sword as just to get within her range, because the way she blocks and parries and just that barbaric ferocity and speed of hers, that it's very clear that even you would be in trouble if Meredith ever did berserk and go after you the way you've seen her go after opponents. She's just that deadly and good.
Mm-hmm. And so he does end up backing off. He probably actually ends up on a knee with his shield up. Because she did win that. She did win that. But he's looking over the shield and his eyes do flash yellow briefly. And then he's back to normal. It was like, and he turns to Iago and he goes, she's better.
And Iago kind of beams, and he takes out the last of the berries, and some kind of it looks like you had some wrapped journey cake that out of that you might have been saving for a treat that you'd gotten in the last um, actual place of civilization. Oh, from the village on the island.
Uh-huh.
And he takes it over and he gives the last of your sweet cake and berries to Meredith as her reward for beating you.
He goes, this is just like the arena. You've found yourself a patron. A pint-sized one, but still a patron.
Meredith will will take the berries and just put them away for now.
And he goes, yes, I am the patron of Meredith, the unmerciless, Meredith the mighty, Meredith the, and he's like trying to think of other words that start with M. Meredith the miraculous.
Yeah. Jaylin's like, eh. He's like, it's a good thing we don't have to fight each other for real.
Certainly is.
Oh, teacher of mine. And then he walks and then he walks over to take a seat next to Mathin. And he goes, so, are you going to challenge her next round?
And yeah, Mathin kind of gives Jaylin a stare of why would you do this to me?
And he claps him on the shoulder and he goes, just put on a good show for the boy.
And Iago goes, yes, yes, Mathin the magical against Meredith the miraculous.
And
Jaylin's like, he's got a good vocabulary.
Well, I am a dragon.
So Mathin sighs and he climbs to his feet and he looks at Meredith and he says, I don't think I would be much challenge in this form. Would you allow me to change?
Yeah, I'm not above beating on a bear.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
And before the dragon eats him.
And yeah, Mathin will start to transform into his bear form.
Meredith will start stretching.
Mathin, roll wisdom.
Ooh, nice roll.
Excellent. With that roll, you get +2 strength and +2 constitution.
Ooh.
So, meanwhile, the other group. Elle, you've just come out of that vision.
Yeah, I have.
Describe for us what happens first as it's all over and you're back in the temple.
Well, Elle is gonna sit there kind of just like dazed and confused after all that.
And Blue curls up with you in a quiet, protective way, his head on your lap. Kethra, what about you?
Kethra is used to, well, to say she's used to having these kinds of visions is not exactly accurate. It's not foreign to her. So she's less dazed and confused than Elle. And she's actually kind of amused at the way Elle is just like, whoa, and is kind of like, not quite sure what to do with herself after that. And so she's just going to blow out the candle and kind of clean up the area because, she doesn't want to leave. She doesn't want to leave the altar any messier than she found it. And she kind of starts collecting her things. And she's going to turn to Elle and smile and just ask, was that the connection you were looking for?
And I was just gonna nod and just say, we need to find these children of the Allfather. I want to know more.
And I'm just gonna nod and I say, I think if we keep this communion up, we'll find our answers. The Mistress of Secrets does not hide them when you know how to ask.
I shall definitely keep up the communion with you. Thank you for showing me the way.
And I'm just gonna smile and nod, of course.
And Elle's just gonna smile and just say, we should probably get back. We left them alone with a dragon.
And as you guys get back, you hear Iago just laughing with delight. And it appears that these guys have been kind of playing around and having a good time. And Mathin has just shifted up to bear form. And Jaylin is is sitting back,
Nice.
panting a little like he's just been running around in combat, and he's got his shield, he's got his sword sheathed, but he's still in that recovery mode. And Meredith is stretching and flexing, and it looks like there's about to be a friendly bout going on.
Jaylin is also fashioning. He's basically making a makeshift wooden practice sword right now out of tree branch. He's starting to work at that. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Mathin and Meredith, roll hack and slash.
Ooh, fuck.
So is that a 14?
That is a 14.
Damn. So
Okay. Okay. So, Meredith, this time, Jaylin, I mean, you've killed bears. You guys just killed some bears. But this time, Mathin is so fast and so sharp, and whereas the axe, Jaylin was having trouble getting into your reach, Mathin's actually able to charge you and literally bowl you over and kind of swipe you. So your axe goes in one direction, you go spinning in another. He didn't use claws. He didn't draw blood, but you're like rolling up in the air because he'd hit you so hard, and that you have a moment of like your axe isn't in your hands, you see the clouds. And Elle, you get to see Mathin just being extraordinary. In most of your experiences watching Mathin in combat, you felt like you've had the need to protect him, but in this moment you see the potential for him to be um your equal. Perhaps there's just something within Mathin that needs to be unlocked so that he is like this when he's facing actual um, opponents. There's like something perhaps has been holding him back. Um, might be training, it might be something else, but you see him here looking just clearly um, beautiful to behold in his uh, ferocity and courage and ability to fight Meredith of all people.
Can I pet him?
I would suggest you wait until the bout's completely over, because Meredith is going to land in the water and splash.
Oh man.
Uh, Meredith.
How's it going?
Mathin, hi. You're wet. The Nyad is laughing. Iago's laughing. And Iago's cheering.
And Jaylin's like, I agree. She could use a bath.
So rude. My goodness.
And that's when
And Meredith will.
the Nyad uses one of her powers, and she shoots a bolt of water, and it splats at Jaylin right in the head.
Alright, okay, I get it. Everybody against Jaylin. He's like, at least I still have Iago.
Iago, who's taken the very last of your food rations and is now presenting it to Mathin.
Is this the this is where I looked at Catherine and I go, you owe me food.
You owe me food.
He doesn't
Really?
seem serious about it though, but it's just like, your dragon.
Who
And-
gave him food?
He asked for food.
I'm just gonna smirk and hand over some rations to Jaylin.
And then Jaylin also hands Iago the practice sword he made. And he goes, I'm going to teach you how to use that. Hold on to it for now.
Yes! And he is Mathin still in bear form?
Yes.
Iago is going to playfully try and whack you. You can defy danger to disarm him or move or do something if you wish.
I think Mathin would pretend to go for like a disarm or something, but just let him get the hit in.
Okay. So he goes, whack! And he goes, see? I can do this.
Jaylin looks proud.
And so now he chases after Blue with the stick. And Blue...
Iago. No.
Blue flies in the air.
Can,
It's like just
hold
flies,
on.
hovering.
Can I intercept and disarm him?
Yes. You don't even have to roll. And he goes, but...
You don't attack the puppy.
He goes, I wish I had my wings.
Aww.
You know what?
She's just gonna pat him gently and just say, maybe Blue will let you borrow his if you're nice to him.
You know what? As that's going on, Jaylin's going to walk up behind him and pick him up and put him on his shoulders.
Aww.
How about this?
He goes, yes! And he starts like flapping his arms like they were wings. Jaylin,
Yes.
as you're doing that, as you have Iago on his shoulders and he's flapping his wings, you experience a flashback. And you are on your father's shoulders. And you're up in the top of a tower on a castle. And you are surveying basically an entire kingdom. And he is gesturing and he is pointing out across the land, and is pointing up to jagged peaks, and is saying, our ancestors came from the mountains, from a particular mountain. I go,
Does he name the mountain?
What?
Does he name the mountain?
He doesn't name the mountain.
Okay.
Oh, actually, I take that back. And he goes, they came from Mount Phoenix. He goes, which did not have snow but fire. And he says, they were savage beastmen. They did not embrace the laws of RTO. They did not serve the goddess as we do.
Resilient souls, I salute you!
And he goes, the beast that is within us can only be tempered by love and compassion and protecting those who are weaker than ourselves. And the flashback ends.
Jaylin, spends, maybe, another minute or two, running Iago around, but lets him down, eventually, and just kind of wanders back over to his things, and he's going to write some stuff down.
Alrighty.
He was, he was into play, and now he's, kind of withdrawing, without really no explanation.
Catherine, roll wisdom.
Okay.
Seven.
You sense that there was a change in Jaylin right then, but it wasn't clear specifically why. But he's definitely clearly wasn't anger at Iago, but something just triggered for him, and you feel that Jaylin just had something new trigger, and you sense that it was important, but you're not sure why.
Okay. I'm actually going to wander away from the group and go over to Jaylin and just kneel next to him while he's writing stuff down and just place a hand on his shoulder and be like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I think so. That was a little clearer than they've been before.
And I would actually like to use my telepathy because I don't know how comfortable Jaylin is talking about this openly. And in my head, I'm going to say, well, I'm here if you want to talk about it. And when I say here, I mean in his head.
Yeah.
So he knows that I'm not speaking
Yeah.
out loud.
Yeah.
And go ahead and cast that spell.
Who's a good bear? Who's a good bear? I see that.
Roll, yes.
What?
It's a roll for intelligence.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, intelligence for spellcasting. Please be good now.
And I will take my experience.
Wait, isn't cleric wisdom?
Or is
That is a wizard spell.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So as you're reaching out to make that connection with Jaylin mentally, you feel something else that you're he's right there and you were going to connect with him, but there was a sharp sense of contacting the mind of something else, something alien and approaching. And there was just this moment of contact, and then it's broken, and you kind of stumble back.
It was weird.
Are you all right?
Yeah. Are you okay? And I'm just gonna play it off like, yeah, it's totally fine. I'm fine. It's totally fine.
Because she came over and like she came over and had that moment. He was just like, and because the spell didn't go off for him, he didn't hear her in his head. He's just like looking like that moment of like awkward silence. He's like, oh, okay. No, it was that one was really vivid. I remember now something my father told me. About was it a goddess? Was Artio a goddess?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Kethra, make a lore roll for intelligence. And get +1, being cleric.
I will take my experience again.
You know that Artio was one of the gods whose worship back in Farland had been abolished. And abolished generations before you guys were born. So you know that she was one of the forbidden gods to worship back home.
He mentioned that our people came from a place, a mountain actually. I actually saw it in the distance. He was showing me, I think our home, and Mount Phoenix. And he mentioned that is where my ancestors came from, and that we were a savage people who at that time did not follow the precepts of Artio as well as we should.
You should not be following the precepts of Artio at all. It is forbidden.
Jaylin raises a brow and goes, I don't follow the precepts of anyone right now.
And I just kind of look at the floor like, oh, okay.
He goes, it's like, I'm sorry. I'm still working on that. I guess I probably shouldn't be so. And he just shakes his head. Cause so yeah, I saw my dad. That's all. I'm fine. I see what you're doing, Laurel.
Favorite technique of mine.
From Elle.
And so Jaylin just, notes down the names and notes down that Kethra doesn't think that Artio should be, worshipped. But kind of just puts a question mark after that. Tucks his journal back away.
All right. Meanwhile, everybody else, what are you doing?
Patching Mathin.
Mathin, what are you doing?
Mathin's still in bear form, sitting eating the rations that Iago had put down in front of him.
And Meredith, what are you doing?
At this point, Meredith is probably stoking the fire.
Excellent. Drying your clothes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are they on or off of you as you're drying them?
Oh, they're off.
Okay.
You don't
Iago's
dry your
kind of
clothes while they're on you.
staring at you, and he like when Kethra and Jaylin kind of join the others, he runs up to Kethra and he whispers something in her ear.
I have a feeling this is
Uh-oh.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna laugh and just say yes, and it's not polite to stare, young man.
And he gestures back at Meredith, and then he whispers something else.
And I'm just gonna blush
Why
and
is
think,
this done?
oh Lord, this child.
Why?
Oh, wonderful.
What? And she just looks at him and she hugs him and kind of walks him away from the fire and say, I'll explain that to you one day when you're older and I'm a little less embarrassed.
And Iago shoots Meredith one last look and gets pulled away.
She has flesh mountains, guys.
Everybody roll discern realities for me.
If you botch this roll, you're distracted by Meredith.
At a -1, actually, yes.
Really?
Does Meredith have to add a -1? Doesn't matter.
Meredith doesn't need to roll -1. No,
I withdraw my question. I'll take that sweet experience, though.
please do.
Did mine not roll?
Yours did not roll.
No.
What the hell? I clicked the sheet.
Click it again.
Something is suddenly not as it seems. And you get the sense that something very bad is about to happen, Mathin and Kethra. And Kethra, as you are kind of walking Iago away from the group, you behold something moving out of a darker place of the forest. And you have enough time to knock him down, and a shaft of an arrow with a goes shooting past the two of you and hits a tree. And as it hits the tree itself starts to wither. And you see something green and Icarus dripping off the arrow.
Ooh, I don't like that.
And from another bouncing between a couple of trees, you see a creature that looks like half spider and half something else. And there's movement in the trees behind it. Mathin, your danger sense of an intrusion into the forest happens, and you feel something of that orcish taint affect one of the nearby trees.
Okay. So he would look around and see Kethra pushing Iago and the arrow uh, um, well, the hour's already passed, but yeah, see what's going on, and he would just charge over to them and stand up because he's still in his bear form on his hind legs and just present as big a target in front of them as possible to shield them.
All right. Stuff is beginning to happen. Kethra and Iago are on the ground. Mathin is shielding them in bear form. And everyone else, you hear it all. Meredith is the last one to respond because you, for whatever reason, you were just probably the furthest away there at the fire. And everyone else is aware that uh Kethra is being has there's an attack of some kind going on.
Jaylin's gonna grab a pistol, sword, and shield and run in that direction to see what's going on.
Excellent.
And
Elle is actually gonna try her best to remain undetected and sneak around the back of them.
Jaylin's actually
Excellent.
going to concern himself with, he's going to, like, grab Iago and start ushering him back and away from everything.
Excellent. Roll Defy Danger to basically protect yourself and Iago, Jaylin.
Based on Dex, or...
Sure.
12.
Absolutely.
So yeah, he's like giving it, like, he's like, no, come back here, no. He's like, you stay back there, you stay out of sight. We have to take care of this.
And Iago does so. He makes himself very small, and out of the way, and you get the sense that he is going to obey you and do what you say, so that you'll be able to return to the fight. Elle, make that stealth roll.
Okay, just character sheet shrunk itself.
You are going to be able to work your way stealthily towards them. It's just going to take you longer than you want to ensure that happens. Are you taking Blue with you, or are you putting giving Blue a different order?
I'm taking Blue with me.
Okay. Kethra and Mathin, defy danger. There are more arrows coming, and you see at this point it looks like there is an orc ranger and an with their pet, and an orc druid, and 2 driders. All 4 of them have bows.
Okay, so I'm going to defy danger on Constitution because, yeah, he's just presenting as big a target as possible, and we'll just take the hits.
Do it.
So that's a 12.
Absolutely. One of the arrows impacts you, and it had that same poisonous ichor on it, but you are immune. And not only are you immune now, but congratulations, you are invulnerable to the orc process.
Oh,
That
yay.
they cannot turn you into an orc.
Awesome.
I am going to defy danger using Dex to get the hell away.
Do it. You are able to get away, but you're still kind of in a precarious position because they're all spreading out. And one of the driders in particular is trying to come right at you. And so is the hunter pet, which is a war pig. Jaylin, you and Meredith. At this point in time, you sense Meredith. You realize that combat is about to go on. You're able to grab your axe and start following after everybody else. And Jaylin, you reach the scene. And you survey that there is the war pig and the drider that are headed towards Kethra, and the others are shooting arrows at Mathin.
I would like to aid Mathin or interfere via a taunt. He's going to bang his sword against his shield and try to draw their attention.
Roll charisma.
All right. I'll take my XP.
They completely ignore you.
Of course they do.
Yeah.
This kid here. Who's this kid with the sword and the shield?
All right. Elle, you are making your way towards their back. And you and Meredith will both be able to react at the end of this newest round.
Okay.
The orc druid realizes that the arrows are not affecting Mathin. And she shifts into bear form herself. And she is just this green plant / bear creature that is not native to this forest. And it's truly a perversion. And you sense, Mathin, that this was someone once like you, once upon a time, who was a defender of the forest that had been turned into one of its arch enemies. And roll defy danger.
Based on any particular or
based on whatever you would like.
Okay. Seeing as they're now the bear as well, I think just defy it on strength, just to sort of wrestle with them.
Okay.
So 7.
You manage to avoid its blows, and now you can make a strike of your own. Actually, roll hack and slash first.
Oh yeah, I'm forgetting the strength was defy danger.
No worries. And you still have that +2 from before, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But so you basically both basically slash at each other with your claws, but neither of you does any damage to one another. Kethra, the strider, is making a leap right at you.
Well, last session I leveled up and took a spec into druids or into wizards, so I would like to cast a spell on him if I may.
You may.
All right, I'm actually going to use magic missile, and I believe that is an interval. Yes.
Yes.
And I will take my XP.
I'm not a good level up again.
Say I'm not a good wizard.
You get the spell off, but it's still something that's new to you, and so it goes kind of wild. Roll 1d6. And now roll wisdom and roll high. high enough. The Drider lands on top of you, and it had one of its arrows in its hand, and it stabs you in the shoulder, and you feel the poison sinking into you. But it does not. It is incapable of corrupting you. You're not being turned into an orc, but the pain is horrible. It's a burning, like it's sort of an acidic pain shooting through your shoulder. Jaylin,
Yeah.
there is a Drider on top of Kethra, which I imagine is probably the target you want to go after. There is also, at this point, you see the War Pig is charging in to try and bite her foot.
Catherine's not having a good day.
All right. Well, I'm gonna do my hacky slashy thing at the Drider. He's gonna try to put basically. He's gonna try to do a little bit of motivating to make space with the sword, if that makes sense, because he wants to really put himself between anything that's coming at Kethra.
Yep.
So, let's do this. Let's roll the swing things at things. 13.
You leap. You slash. You roll your damage.
Can I take an extra 1d6 to put myself in potential danger?
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see. Yeah. Only 8 damage.
8 damage, however, is more than enough to just cleave the Drider in two.
So he just leaps in and just comes down with a sword and like a just downward slash, just like straight down the middle, just like, yeah.
Yep. Roll Constitution for me.
Okay. 8.
Roll 1d4.
Oh no. 4.
The ichor, as it all splashed across you as you hit it, your shield took most of it, but a little bit of it splashed where your shield didn't protect you. So you're going to take 2 points of basically the ichor was toxic, and so it burns into your skin.
He kind of just brushes the Dried aside and looks to see, like you said, there's a war pig.
Yes.
And so now he's basically standing between the war pig and Kethra.
Okay. Elle, you get the backside view of what's going on, and you got to see Jaylin just make that maneuver, and you see with their backs to you the druid and another Drider, which looks like he's aiming an arrow at Mathin, and the ranger who is aiming an arrow at Jaylin, and then the little war pig is running around.
I'm gonna go for the ranger.
Okay.
Gonna sneak up behind him and just
It's a her.
Oh, her. Hard to tell with orcs.
Yeah.
Kind of like dwarves.
No, dwarves have
Flesh mountains.
flesh mountains.
Someone had to say it.
I'm just gonna attempt to sneak up behind her and slit her throat.
Roll it.
And can I take the backstab damage on that?
Yes, you can.
Yes. Can I also put myself in danger to take the extra d6?
Yes, you can.
And
As you slash her throat, this feeling of raw satisfaction at the way she kind of convulses in your arms. And her pet freaks out, whips around, and charges at you, but you can make a defy danger roll.
yeah, we're gonna roll that based on deck.
Good enough. You are able to basically avoid the charge. And I am going to take control of Blue, and Blue is going after that war pig. Roll 1d6 for Blue for me.
Poor Blue.
No, that's what Blue inflicted upon the pig.
Oh, see, I don't trust when I roll for Blue anymore.
I know, I understand, and that is enough to kill it. Blue just savages it.
Good Blue.
Meanwhile, Meredith.
How's it going?
It's going good. People are trying to kill your friends again.
You know, Laurel, there's one thing that really ticks Meredith off. There's actually a few things, now that I think about it. There are many things that tick Meredith off. However, one of the biggest and most important things that ticks Meredith off is when motherfuckers are trying to kill her friends. She particularly does not appreciate that.
No, she doesn't.
No, it's not very nice. You know. So Meredith is gonna come over yonder.
And it's a writer that is in particular right now trying to kill friends. There was this ranger girl here, but you just get to see a smile of satisfaction on Elle's face as she's slitting open her throat. And Blue pounces on the pig, and this Drider is turning its attention towards Elle as all of this is going on, leaving E itself, it's not even aware that you are there.
Okay.
So you have a +1 on tapping it and making friends.
Sweet.
Making friends.
Which one of these two things is bigger was gonna be my question.
That one is dead.
Okay,
this
that
one
one's dead.
is a big green bear, and it and Mathin are going after each other. And then the Drider is the smaller thing. The only risk of hack and slashing into the one bear is the other bear is right there too. So it'd have to be a very precise hit.
Right.
And I do believe your weapon is messy.
That
doesn't mean that is not a discouragement. That is not a discouragement to do it. That is a discouragement for botching.
Yeah, I'm gonna tear into the big thing.
Okay. Roll it. And this is not a +1. But not that Meredith even needed it. So, Mathin, as that bear and you are going at each other, there is a whoosh sound as Meredith's big axe goes right by you and is going to land in the orc druid's ribs. Roll your damage, Meredith.
And this axe does have +1 damage, so that's a
Yes, it
7
does.
damage.
Ooh.
And it takes a whole lot of damage. It isn't quite dead, but you just its life is flashing in front of its face.
That is why you don't fuck with Meredith's friends.
Exactly. So while Meredith is pulling her axe out of its side, Mathin, what would you like to do?
So I imagine the two bears sort of, on hind legs, just, sort of almost in like an embrace, just tearing at each other's, trying to get their throat and stuff. And then the surprise that this other druid would get at suddenly being, hammered by an axe in the side. I would like to use that to like topple him over onto his back and then just get a clear kind of like bite at his exposed throat.
Absolutely. Roll for that. And that is certainly good enough to do so. Roll your damage. And that is enough to open its throat. And it shifts back into druid form. And appears to be it was originally a human druid that had gotten converted into an orc, into a female orc.
So on death, it's actually back to a human now?
It's back to an orc, but it's clearly started out as a human as opposed to an elf. The other one started out as an elf. You'll be able to later on, just it's like little detail to tell from the two forms which was which.
Okay.
And there is one Drider left. And it sees the way all of its companions were just mowed down. It's going to try to attempt to run.
Nope, not having that.
It's going to get a 12 on its dexterity roll to escape. Everybody who would like to make an action just needs to beat a 12.
Thanks, roll. Thanks a fucking lot.
On the other hand, you get an XPL.
Yay.
Yay!
13.
Jaylin, you leap. What are you doing?
He is shifting into werewolf form
Uh-oh.
and landing on top of it claws first.
Guys, I think Kethra is secretly a furry.
God,
That's not
so
a secret.
Jaylin, take +2 to your strength and +1 to your dex.
Okay. Let's see. So, you want me to roll a hack and slash here?
Yes, please.
Yeah, it does. Okay. So, here we go. Here's the hack and slash roll. 10.
Roll your damage.
Let's see. Werewolf form is standard damage, but these are messy claws.
Absolutely.
7.
That tears into it now and kind of ravages it. Roll your constitution.
12.
You feel the orc poison not at all. Like you weren't even aware that the blood was toxic the way you just ripped through it all. And I am going to say, based on that roll, that in your werewolf form, you are now immune to orc blood and orc poisons.
Nice.
Or I should say, yeah, the orc drider blood and poisons.
Okay.
So you and Mathin are both protected from them all now.
Yeah. And so he's gonna savage it, but he's gonna turn right back around and show that like he's there. It's all him in control.
Absolutely. In fact, those who watch you, who see you, can tell that your strikes are powerful but precise, and it is very much Jaylin in control of the beast. The lessons that you've been having with Meredith in fighting and whatnot are really showing where you are learning to have her same flavor, her and Mathin's flavor of control.
Yeah.
And they're all dead, everybody. And we are going to take a 2 or 3 minute break.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Be that way. All right, guys. So, you know, break time. What
Break time.
What are we doing? Am I gonna like give
What do
everybody
we do when it's break
Do
time?
I do put some music on, or are we just gonna hang out here and chat a little bit, or how you guys feeling about driders and toxic blood and magic missiles?
I mean, I'm super happy I'm resistant to the magic blood, so yeah, that's fine.
I'm just glad I didn't get cursed again.
Yeah, Jaylin.
I was like, "Are you serious?"
Jaylin's like, "Do we really have to carry it back to the other pond, or can we use this one since we rejuvenated it?" Like,
So, Dio, question.
Yes.
How does it feel to finally be able to be in a battle and then still not fucking hit anything?
Yeah, that's a thing.
I swear we need to get her like a pendant of +1 hit things.
No, it would need to be a pendant of +10 to even have a chance of hitting it.
There's never a cam for Dungeon World. Oh! I hear the magic being made over here. I
like when magic is made. You don't like magic.
Oh well, actually, he he likes certain magic.
Oh really?
Ooh, baby.
Yumi, can I just tell you that I love you?
I love you too.
So I've got a question from Mr. Martkos over there.
I'll be right back.
Yes.
Why you no accept Elle's advances?
Because you're a scary elf thing that reminds him of bad times, and he's busy being a bear killing stuff.
She's
For
not
once,
that
I actually got
scary.
to kill a thing. I'm so happy.
Hey, she has not poisoned you yet. That is a compliment.
Yeah, yours. Jaylin had a little bit of character growth. He does actually accept that not all magic is bad, but right now the only person that flings magic that he trusts is Kethra. And though he had that moment earlier where he said that he doesn't adhere to like the precepts of any god, while he doesn't believe in Bel, he believes in Kethra's belief in Bel. Yeah.
Maybe he should fucking start worshipping Artio. I hear she's a great goddess.
Well, he brought up Artio, and Kethra was immediately like, "You're not supposed to worship that one," and he's just like, "Oh."
Really fucking picky. Like, I mean, she'll send you on a quest, and then she'll be really picky about who you have to save.
So now he has questions. He has even more questions. So many questions.
Honestly, I think Jaylin and Elle's questions are going to be answered along a very similar line.
And so when Laurel gets back, Jaylin gets to shift back down and wrap the cloak around himself again.
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 Why you always gotta end up naked in these episodes, man?
It's kind of what I do, you know? Meredith tears things apart, Mathin bears, Jaylin nakeds.
I see.
Okay, I return.
Welcome back.
What is everybody doing now that the combat is over?
Jaylin's gonna go get clothes. Again.
Still patting Mathin.
And yeah, he's checking. Well, he would check in on Iago first
Who
to make sure that he stayed out of sight and didn't get hurt. And yeah,
he did, and he ensures that he's okay. And then he runs up to the group and kind of inspects the bodies, making this sort of look on his face of like, you.
Those are not good hunts. And then Jaylin just walks off to go get his stuff.
Yeah.
Can Elle search the bodies for some sort of dagger?
Elle can search those bodies. Make a discern realities roll for me. And this time it's going to be a real discern realities roll with the questions and everything.
That was int.
That was int. Do you have a difference in stats?
No, they're exactly the same.
Okay. In that case, you get one question.
What is useful or valuable to me here?
As you're searching through their weapons, you do come across a dagger. And it is made out of bone. It is finely it's been sharpened. But it looks like it was actually made out of a magical creature. And in the hilt is a gleaming amethyst. Roll wisdom. As you hold that dagger, you feel a connection towards everything that Belle had just related to you, and that conversation that you have both a blessing and a curse in your veins, because through your father there is some trace element of draconic blood, and you are very sure that whoever made this dagger was related either through worship or through whatever to that specific dragon that was referred to in that vision. And that this dagger and anything else that has that kind of glowing amethyst stone is related to the worship of that particular dragon.
Okay. And I think Elle's actually going to start using that dagger as her main weapon.
That dagger comes with the tag dangerous.
All right. I shall add it to my equipment.
Their bows are of good quality. Their clothing has been pretty much is just furs and whatnot. However, the leather armor that the ranger had would fit Jaylin okay. It wouldn't be perfect, but it's the sort that has the straps that you can tighten or loosen. So Jaylin could collect some leather armor if he chose.
Yeah. He'll go ahead and borrow that.
And anyone who would like these bows is welcome to pick them up.
What kind of bow is it?
Wooden longbows.
I'll take one.
Awesome. It's all the equipment itself is of good quality, and this is the experience that Mathin has had with the orcs that have invaded the quality, is they're very good at making things. These, for whatever they lack in intelligence and integrity through the corruption, they are excellent craft masters. And that's part of the problem, is they're tearing at the forest and they're constructing it into things. And so they have these beautiful bows and all of these arrows and whatnot. And Mathin, as you're looking upon it all, you know that used to be part of the same forest. But you feel that same sort of connection, whereas it's still some small seed within the wood itself, hasn't been corrupted the same way the creatures that became orcs were. That the arrows were poisoned, but they were not poisonous in themselves, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So Martha would like to take one of those bows then.
You bet. And they also had between them just a day's rations, just some canteens. The two driders, their equipment was not of the same quality. It was a lot more primitive. But upon their bodies, sort of etched in through a brand of some kind, is the symbol of Visano, the demon god.
Is that something that Elle or Kethra would recognize after having that vision?
Yes. In fact, you would all, everybody, even including Meredith, would recognize it because you faced servants of the Visano back from where you came. The only person who doesn't recognize it is Iago, and he's just being very quiet, kind of watching what Elle is doing.
Well, speaking of Iago,
Yes.
Elle's actually gonna walk over to him and hand him her old dagger that she used in her main hand. I'll just tell him that it's in case he ever needs to use it.
And he nods seriously, and he puts good care into where he puts it away. On the clothes that he had when he transformed, probably a gift from his mother. And he has in his left hand the stick that Jaylin had given him, and he's not letting go of that.
And as Elle's just gonna pet him and just say, "One day I'll teach you to use it properly." But
Thank
right
you.
now, we've got more pressing matters.
And he nods his head. And Meredith, at this point in time, your clothes are dry enough if you want to put them back on. Jaylin, you've got your cloak.
Well, then his new armor.
What? And armor.
Well, he technically still has chainmail, but like they're the same armor value. Like, so he's just gonna put these on his new clothes.
Yeah.
And he would actually like to do like one sweep of like the general area, just kind of where they are, to make sure that no one else is creeping up on them.
Roll wisdom. Roll high.
Yeah, please roll high.
Jaylin's wisdom and rolling high the same thing or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. 8.
You do not perceive anything near you, but to the distant south, you see a couple of, and it's like a couple of different places as you're sweeping the horizon, or I should say, I'm going to have you, one of the things that Jaylin does is I'm going to have Jaylin climb a tree and sort of survey around that way. And from the tree, you are able to see some smoke to the south. It looks from like a couple of different places. I would say it's probably 2 or 3 miles beyond where you are in the forest.
So that's where they came from. And that's probably where we're going next. Hops down and tells the other. Yeah, they're pretty active.
Resilient souls, I salute you!
Oh, I like dragons. Thanks for the host. Welcome, everybody.
I love that name.
Yeah, I like dragons too, actually. We have one in the party now.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, we like dragons. Iago's kind of cool with us.
Have 2 technically in a way.
Well, yeah, we do. We're collecting dragons now. But yeah, he informs the others. It's like, yeah, to our south. It's that they're clearly active there. I didn't see any coming to check us out, but I don't know if that was a scouting party or something they might miss and come looking into here soon. Just so you guys know.
The Nyad calls you all back to her pool.
Mm-hmm.
And before you depart, she has you take empty vials that you have from used healing potions, and she fills them all from her pool. So everybody, including one for Blue and one for Iago, and Elle, you can carry Blues, get a healing potion. And Meredith also gets a kiss.
Ooh.
Now, this water from her pool, will that also ward off any curses should that ever happen again?
Roll wisdom and pray for it.
9.
It might.
It might.
It might. It would need you or somebody else with faith, or possibly Iago from being a dragon in all of this, or you or Mathin might be able to do some spiritual magic with it to ward off curses or other things that are going on. Yeah.
I have a question. Is this going to be like an immediate departure, or does Jaylin have time to sneak off?
I asked the group. Are you going to let Jaylin sneak off for a while?
I think that's a question for Kethra.
Yeah, we'll just leave Jaylin up to Kefra.
You know, I'm gonna let Jaylin sneak off.
Jaylin would like to return to the temple to talk to the wolf guardian, the guardian wolf, the ghost wolf spirit.
Absolutely.
Thing, he wants to basically, with hoping nobody followed him, infer about this Artio. Ask some questions, just in general, just to see if that's a name that's recognized here.
And the guardian, who I think his name was, goes, yes, Artio is a goddess of protection and healing. She is not worshipped per se within the forest, but she is an ally and part of the pantheon of Gaia. Her people are good.
Do you know where she might be worshipped still?
Anywhere, any human settlement that has not been overtaken by evil. And the guardian kind of smiles apologetically and says, I have never been beyond the forest. I only know that to the north are the great mountains, and beyond the great mountains, the frozen lands, the Frostheim. And I know that outside the forest are where the humans, on the other far side, are where the humans live.
Thank you. He's just gonna...
And she goes, oh, but in the mountains, the dwarves worship the Allfather and his pantheon. And they do have a dragon guardian of their own. And he goes, I'm not sure what their dragon is named, but he has never been an enemy of ours.
Jaylin raises a brow at the mention of dragon, but he once again thanks to Ghost Wolf for the information, and then returns to the others. Just kind of walks back up like, oh, I wasn't gone.
And Jaylin just slips in with all of you, and Iago's kind of bouncy in that young child, excited because something's about to go on way. And Blue's looking very smug of himself, and kind of looking at Elle going, I did good. I didn't get hurt. You didn't have to save me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna toss Blue one of my rations.
And he gulps it up. And then kind of rubs against you.
And I'm actually gonna give Blue a little command, and that is to if Iago ever comes in danger, to protect him.
And Blue seems to nod. And there's a sense that being here in the forest and drinking from the Nyad's pool and whatnot, Blue seems a little more alert and a little more intelligent, as if the magic of this part of the forest is kind of imbuing him a little bit and awakening him. And the connection between the two of you just is becoming stronger.
And Elle's gonna take note of that and just under her breath say to Blue, you seem to be understanding me more. What's next? You're gonna start talking?
Blue barks.
Is this close enough for Jaylin to hear the bark?
Yes.
Jaylin calls out. He says yes.
Smart ass.
Damn dogs.
Did Kethra say that? Is that what Kethra said?
Yes, she did.
Okay, so Jaylin just kind of looks at her and goes, you think I don't understand him?
And she just shakes her head and says, "You win this one, scrub."
Aw, he blushes.
All right, group. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do, brother? I feel like we're gonna have to go run wild on some orc encampments.
And say we're gonna go south and kick some orc ass.
I say we follow the road so they know we're coming.
Fuck this, go to the dwarves.
Wait, why would we let them know we're coming?
That way they'll send more our way.
Why would we want that?
To cut them down? He looks to Meredith for backup on this. He's like...
Elle's just gonna sigh and just tap Jaylin on the shoulder and just say, sometimes, yeah, you really need to understand that maybe the more sneaky route would be better.
Meredith will laugh and say, let them come.
What if the two of you want to stay here and fight them? That's fine, but some of us are gonna get in there without attracting the hordes of orcs.
Well, I mean, if you want to plot the course for us, then go ahead and lead.
Elle, I'm going to give you basically two choices of paths or avenues to lead everybody through. There is the road, and you can take the road down that way, or you can cut through the woods over here and head down this way.
I say we go that second route.
All right, everybody. Elle, if you are taking off to be, you and Blue are going to be the scout.
Yep. And if you're gonna make me roll, I don't actually have to roll if it's a perilous journey.
Oh, what do you get for your perilous journey?
The human ability that comes from Ranger.
Ooh. And does that just give you an automatic 10 plus?
Oh no, it's the Elven ability that comes from Ranger. Sorry, it is. Yeah, it's an automatic success.
All right. So, when you take point and look for anything out of the ordinary, normally you roll plus wisdom, but you are going to get a 10 plus automatically. Choose 2 from the list below. You get the drop on whatever lies ahead. You discern a beneficial aspect of the terrain, shortcut, shelter, or tactical advantage. Number 2. You make a discovery. Ask the GM. Number 3. You notice sign of a nearby danger, which is 4. Ask the GM what it is and what it might signify. So, in your first scouting ahead, which of those 2 would you like to take?
I'm gonna take you discern a beneficial aspect of the terrain.
Yes.
And describe it.
I'm gonna say we find a path that looks like it leads off into a more dense area of trees that would give us the cover needed.
Absolutely.
And also, we make a discovery.
Ooh, cool. Alrighty.
Dun,
So
dun.
I'm Dun, 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 dun.
I feel like, hold on, I feel like I need the Pokemon battle theme. Hold on. I'm gonna go grab that for the stream.
All right. So I clear some map for you all. And that's as far as you guys get when you have your discovery. And you behold a clearing in the forest that has 3 stone pillars in it. Mathin.
Is it like
Yes.
over here? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Describe for me what those 3 stone pillars look like.
So they would be probably about 10 feet tall, and maybe about 5 foot across. So they're pretty big, and they are covered in markings.
Kathra, what language are those markings?
The markings are written in Elvish or Elven.
Elven. Elle, what
Yes.
do those markings signify? What are they basically saying, and who are they saying it about?
I'd say that it's some sort of prayer to an elven god. You know, not being able to read Elven, I don't know particularly well what it says.
Mm-hmm. Give me a name for this elven god.
I don't know. I don't know much about gods. What about you, Kefra? I think Kefra died or is
Oh.
passing by death.
I'm not on push to talk. I'm sorry. Can you?
You got it dumped on you to name the god or goddess. And what are
Name
they
the
your
god
god
or
or goddess
goddess.
of?
Okay. Okay. So this place represents. I'm going to go with this is a place where maybe a goddess of nature in general, not just this particular force, but of nature in general. And I'm going to say goddess.
Alrighty. And what is their name?
Oh. Their name is... I would like to take a moment to ponder that.
Excellent. While you were pondering that, Meredith, what
Yes.
in this clearing that is treasure?
There's treasure. There's a chest that's full of like worshipping materials. So like candlesticks and holy symbols and the like, and they're all plated with gold.
Jaylin,
Yes.
what is in the center of this area trying to take the chest? What monster or humanoid is there that is
Oh.
about to be a threat?
Something trying to defile this site and steal the chest, huh?
Yes.
Elle.
Besides,
Ooh, I could have some fun with this. This is you know what it is?
what?
It's a kobold.
A kobold.
It's exactly what it is.
Well, it's not going to take the candle.
Look, you know, take candle. Yeah, even Mathin was on top of it. Yep.
Yup.
Is it Mathin? Is it one kobold, or is it kobolds?
I think it would be kobolds.
It's a red panda. No, I'm sorry. No, anyways.
No, it is not a red panda. Red panda.
I'd say there'd probably be about 3. Ooh, I like it, Dio.
You don't take candle.
There are 4 kobolds desecrating this. Oh, what?
Oh, wow, what?
Go away, very big kobold.
And they're on the layer above us. No.
It's over. They have
Are
the
they
high
trying to
ground.
make camp with Meredith?
I don't think so.
There's one on Jaylin's face. He's gonna go.
Alrighty.
By the way, Laurel, we cannot see like this area.
Yeah,
So,
I'm about to fix that.
She's like, don't you worry, it's coming.
The kobolds were 2 of them were fighting with the chest and like grunting and growling and hitting it with its pickaxes. Another one of them was chopping with a pickaxe at one of the pillars, and the other one, this one over here, he was just peeing in the bushes. That's just completely. Oh, I guess you guys get 5 kobolds. So, and the other one is kind of wandering into the group, going, and you guys spot them all. Who would like to deal with kobolds first?
Can I attempt to intimidate them?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I like that, Kethra. Say Bell.
Elle, what do you do?
She's just gonna walk up, just stylishly spinning her daggers in her hands, and just she's gonna say to them, "So which one of you wants to die first?"
And the kobold goes, "Erp! No die. This is ours. Our treasure. You no take our treasure." And turns to confront Elle, looking nervous.
And Elle's just gonna say, "I think you'll find that this is a shrine to one of the goddesses. So that's not your treasure. That belongs to a goddess. And trust me, you don't want to get on their bad side."
The goddesses are dead. The orcs have killed them all.
And I've killed orcs.
Jaylin actually looks like he's hoping that's not true. Which is weird for him.
Yeah, Mathin also looks worried by that.
And they go, "And if not the orcs, then Erembor, the Lich. Like, he desecrated the temple of Gaia."
And Elle's just gonna chuckle to herself. "Oh yeah, I've met him. Yeah, he didn't leave on too good terms."
who reveals themselves to the um, kobolds at this point in time?
Jaylin does, but he wanted to make sure to come around the other side, so Elle is talking to them, like, and they're facing that way, and he's coming around the other side to show that there's more to this group.
Right.
Like, you know.
Who else would like to take a point around the shrine and
Mathin would.
awesome and look and act intimidating?
Meredith
Yes.
will.
Heather would
position
also
herself.
like to.
Yes.
She's actually going to draw out the sword that she got from the last session, because she feels that there is some like she can actually feel the holiness coming from the stones, and she recognizes that this is the goddess of Cybele, that, you know, this is the goddess of fertility, of health, of nature, and she's like, nah, dude, this goddess ain't dead yet.
And
Jaylin smiles seeing her hold that sword.
as everybody steps in and backs you up, Elle, the kobolds definitely get scared, and the leader, the one that's closest to you, kind of inhales and shivers a little and goes, fine, we leave if you leave us be.
If you all leave now, we will have no business with you. But if you ever desecrate a shrine in this forest again, we will hunt you to the ends of the earth and slit your throats.
And it spits into its hand and extends its glove towards you with the palm out. So you see the spittle that is kind of going there, and it goes, blood and snot, we agree.
Blood and snot.
I'm gonna go ahead and shake its hand.
And you shake its hand.
Ugh.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and use that water I got from the shrine to cleanse my hand.
You don't need to use shrine water. You can just use regular water, or just wipe it away. Wipe the kobold snot or the kobold spit away. And at that point in time, unless anyone's going to take any action, the kobolds are going to depart.
That works for me.
Allowing you all to investigate the shrine. Kethra, make a wisdom roll, and Mathin do the same.
Could Elle attempt to touch the ruins?
Absolutely. All right.
So would that be a wisdom roll too?
Yes. All right. Kethra and Mathin. This shrine's actual sacredness is still intact. That Cybele is its connection to Cybele. Was that? Am I pronouncing it right?
Pronunciation is Cybele.
Cybele. That Cybele's emanations are still strong here, and that you saved it from desecration. And that you, by saving the shrine itself, taking the gold-plated chest of stuff is probably not a good idea, but hiding it or burying it between the pillars is you can see the hole that the kobolds had actually dug it out of, and maybe covering it back over. And you both sense that if you were to put the gold-plated stuff in the ground and ask the goddess for a favor or for a blessing of some kind, you would certainly be rewarded. Or you can take the stuff and you're not going to get the goddess's wrath so long as you leave the pillars themselves intact. And that's what you guys pick up on yours. Elle, as you touch the pillars, and you can ask Sybil one question, and Sybil will answer it truthfully. And Mathin, you could do the same if you wished. You won't have to make a second roll.
Okay.
I'm gonna let Mathin go first.
Okay.
Wow. Is there anything that you can tell us that will aid in clearing the south that we're about to head to?
And so the goddess of Sybil extends into you, and you hear her say, "My children, the Triads, are already at war down there. And I will place my blessing upon you so that they recognize you as allies. And will if you help them, they will certainly help you." She goes, "They are striking at them with catapults of some flaming metal. Destroying the catapults will make my children. There's nothing else that the goblins can strike them with except for their fire and their magic that are causing them harm."
And he's going to offer a thank you for the help. And then assist Kethra in burying the chest.
Awesome. Elle.
And Elle's gonna, she's gonna like discreetly whisper to the shrine, and she's gonna ask the goddess if the goddess would know of anything that would help lead her to finding the truth of her past.
And there's there's a momentary pause, and she goes, "Where the goblins have built their stronghold, there was also a temple belonging to me. If you can destroy all of the orcs that are there and take yourself and your companions into my temple and cleanse it, all can be revealed."
Okay, that Elle's just gonna just grab her daggers and just run off in the direction of the smoke.
Alrighty. Anything else that people would like to do here at the shrine?
It seems that, like, as people are, like, asking the shrine and stuff, asking the goddess and all that stuff, Jaylin actually takes steps backwards, like he doesn't belong there.
Okay.
And when Elle starts to take off, he's actually heading in that direction.
Awesome. Alrighty, kids, we're going to take a moment here and switch maps. And I'm going to be moving you guys down to the Oh, I bet, you know what? It helps if I move maps, if I actually literally move you guys on the map too.
Ooh.
Look at all this.
Whoa.
So you guys, by taking the back road in,
This is
sorry, I'm having to coordinate things.
This looks exciting.
There is an epic battle going on. As you and you're coming in at the side of it, down here.
Okay, yeah, like I can see this road down here. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, this is basically the back path that Elle had found. And let's see, yeah, everybody's down there,
Yeah.
which only has one catapult and one of these dudes and two of these dudes.
Surprise, dudes. We're coming to kill you.
And you guys, what you see when you get to the south is there is literally an edge to the forest, and that edge is where you see the Ents all lined up. And beyond that edge, everything is clear cut. There are some dead orcs. There are some Ents on fire. And it looks like this has been going on kind of for a while now today. And that this was an auspicious day to attack because most of the force is up to the north dealing with the Ents. And you guys see an Ent on fire. Let me make a new one.
Let me make a new Ent on fire. I believe that's what these guys are trying to do, Laurel. Are you with the bad guys?
Of course she is. She's a dungeon master.
Yes. That you come upon that has the fire raining down upon it, and you guys, that's the first thing you see is this Ent on flame that now just imagine it's there and you guys are kind of surrounding it. And there is this orc spearman that's kind of manning the catapult, and there are these other two bigger, very big orcs. They look like they might be half giant size, or the size of trolls, that are chanting and cursing at the tree Ent as if they have some kind of magic and are slowing it down.
Jaylin is actually going to one, tell Iago to stay back again. And two, say someone get him off the catapult, and then he's gonna charge for this thing. Like he's gonna just barrel right in.
That is what Jaylin is doing. Elle, how about you?
Elle's charging for the guy on the catapult.
Meredith, how about you?
Meredith is gonna distract this guy over here.
Excellent. Mathin?
So I have an idea.
Okay.
Mathin, because he's an elf, he automatically gets one of his homelands as the Great Forest, and I picked his other one as the Towering Mountains. And I would like to turn into a mountain goat.
Yes.
And charge the catapult and try and like headbutt it and break it or chew through ropes or just
Yes, I love it.
Bear could fucking do that.
No, but a goat. Oh no, a goat could do some damage.
Oh yeah,
Roll your wisdom.
I like the goat idea.
I have seen mountain goats. They are scary motherfuckers. Oh my god,
15?
Mathin.
That's the highest you can roll in this game.
Apparently, Mathin, they have dire mountain goats
Okay.
in the towering mountains.
Oh my
Because
god.
you are bigger as a mountain goat than you were as a bear. Take 3 on strength and 3 on basically constitution / armor, as you are a mountain goat that is big enough for everyone in your party to ride.
Wow.
So even Sapphire
So,
like, what?
because Mathin is now a dire mountain goat, can I request that he inform us as to what a dire mountain goat sounds like?
Yes. Make this war cry, the war bellow of a dire mountain goat, please.
Wow. I actually don't think I can. I have no idea what that would sound like.
So mean, Yumi.
Just
When
make
in
it. Just
doubt,
make
Do
it
it,
sound
do
like
it,
a
and I'll
really.
give you an XP, but you have to go for it.
Oh wow.
Just make like a really angry goat sound.
A really angry goat sound.
Yeah, you're a really mad goat.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay, we'll let it pass.
Oh,
Apparently,
Okay.
they're silent as they go into battle.
Yes.
that's what makes him scary.
Everybody else is going into battle. You realize that you can probably use that water that you had gotten from the spring, even though it's a small amount. It has magical properties. You can use it to save the ant that's on fire.
I would very much like to do that.
Excellent. So Kethra is going to be splashing water and healing the ant. We are going to start with Meredith on her troll-sized orc.
Wait, Meredith is what now?
Roll your hack and slash on your orc.
Ah.
Sorry.
It's okay. It was
Oh,
quiet,
right.
so I did another
Rawr.
roar.
Meow.
You and roll that's my brain, is you put yourself into some danger. Roll defy danger to try and avoid its counterattack.
Defy danger based on.
Dex if you want to avoid it, and con if you want to soak it.
They're the same, so I'll go with Dex. Yeah.
Yeah, you dodge in, you severely wound it, and then dance back out. And go ahead and make a second attack.
Fuck yeah.
Just
What is
one-on-one.
this, Dark Souls?
Fuck yeah.
And it takes you kill it. As you kill it, it claws at you. Roll 1d8 as it's going to try and swipe off your face.
Ah, my face.
Your face. And what is your
face.
armor? 2 or 1?
1.
You basically take a large gouge across your jaw.
Oof.
And take 4 points of damage.
It's a flesh wound.
Yeah, it really is for you. All right, Elle. you are going after the person that is operating the catapult.
Indeed. By the way, where's Blue?
Blue is guarding
Iago.
Iago. Iago. He's doing what you said.
I meant in dire situations, not when I needed him.
Oh, well, screw that. Whistle for Blue if you wish.
Oh no, he can stay there, useless dog. He's as bad as Jaylin.
Wow.
Arf.
There we go.
You hit. Your damage is enough to kill him. As you kind of race in and you slash, and as he's going down, he makes sort of a weak thrust in your direction. Go ahead and defy danger.
Gonna defy that based on death?
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm gonna go Constitution.
Okay. His slash was not strong enough to break the skin. Jaylin.
Uh-huh.
Your target.
So, I'm charging in. Like, I might, do some regular sword and shield combat with this guy. But Jaylin's actually going to drop into a baseball slide and try to take its legs out from under him.
Do it!
Alright. I assume that's going to be dead.
Yes.
11.
Awesome. Roll your damage.
Alright, I don't know if Merciless does apply here. Okay. There's so much going on.
So much going on.
$11. Did this guy land on his own weapon or something?
Maybe. You just describe for the audience just what Jaylin does.
Right, so he's actually gonna drop to a slide, like legs first, and kick the troll-sized orc, one of the legs out from under it, and basically, as it's tripping over him, he's ends up on the other side of it, and it ends up on the ground. What kind of weapon was it holding?
It was holding a long spear.
So, I guess it lands on top of the spear, so it's face down on the ground with the spear sticking up through its back now?
Absolutely.
Is it dead?
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. One of the reasons I was doing things in that particular order is I was looking for a picture.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah. So Jaylin pops back up, turning around, expecting to have an opponent to fight, and realizing that it just impaled itself. And he's like, huh.
So, Mathin, we're going to put your other token away for right now.
Yep.
You and the catapult are about the same size.
Okay.
Roll strength.
Okay, so we'll give this a shot, okay? So
Okay.
yeah, Mathin, there's like big. You hear the big snort, and there's like air gusting out of his nose, and he's paws at the ground, and he lowers his head, and you just hear meh,
Oh, great!
and he just charges full head first into the catapult.
Bravo. Way!
Oh wow,
And
that would be a 9 though. It would still be a 9.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say quite literally head first. I think you meant to use the horns, Mathin.
I think you meant meh.
That's okay. That was actually, I was having him roll his strength as damage, and that is enough damage to just wreck the catapult. Like it's going to be bits and pieces when you're done with it. And Kethra, describe what you're doing.
So while all of this calamity is happening behind me, I'm actually attending to the tree end. I've poured my vial of water over the tree end, and I'm just praying to Bel, to really any deity that will hear me, because I want so badly for this tree to be healed, because I've made this vow that I would help protect the forest, that I would protect the dragon child. So that's what I'm doing right now.
You definitely feel the power coming across and surging through you all. And while there wasn't a lot of water, it was enough. And the tree ant is definitely restored. And I'm going through my list because I now need to add another one to the table. All right. And it thanks you. And you feel you were a city girl. And you survived in Far City. And you kept your head down. And today is the day where you feel yourself opening up to something really, truly bigger and better. And this feel a connection not just to Bel, but to Sibylle, and to this sort of almost just this divinity that goes beyond everything you knew and were taught, into a sense of it isn't just Bel, but all the gods of Bel's pantheon are going to look upon you with favor when you're doing things like this. And a sense that maybe that god that Jaylin had mentioned, Ardeo, is also part of the same pantheon. And the reason that worship was forbidden, because there was something about Ardeo and something about Cybele that the demons were afraid of and had enmity towards. And that maybe the solution to not just saving this place, but saving all places, is reaching out to these gods and their servants. And that you have all of that blinding insight in the time it takes to heal the tree. And it's as you guys have done all of this that this other group here kind of goes, huh? And this guy is trying.
Which
to
guy? You might want to ping.
Sorry, this guy.
Okay, thank you.
Is trying to start swinging its catapult around towards you all. And this archer is moving a little closer, and this archer is moving a little closer towards you. And in this time, this archer is shooting at the other treant. So that group just to your north has realized that you just fucked some shit up.
Jaylin actually calls out, "Do you really want to do this? We have a goat."
Mathin, Make a charisma roll to be intimidating.
That is my
Good
weakest
job.
stat.
That is a very intimidating goat.
You cause one of these guys, the guy that operates the catapult, to run off into the woods. Like he just dropped his shit and he's going to end up eaten by a different treant. Take your actions, people. Whoever would like to go first.
I would like to take out one of the archers on the way to the catapult. I don't want this catapult destroyed. I want to see if we can turn it on the other catapults.
Ooh.
Stop turning me upside down. I don't know why other
Sorry.
people have control of my token. No, it's you.
That's me. That was
Why?
me.
Why you turn? Look. How does this look? How does it? How? How does this look? All right. All right. It's just like the bouncing head. Like there's some lyrics at the bottom of the screen. Like. Yeah.
Fine, fine. Take my fun.
I, for one, like drunk Jaylin.
All right, so I guess I'm gonna be taking a swipe at this guy. He's charging in shield up just in case this is in case he likes to let an arrow fly before he gets there.
Absolutely. Take your shot.
Hold on a second, Rekka, it's been a minute. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the 8 months of support. It's good to see you. Wait. Did we just get a shit post from Cospro? Shit just goat serious. Oh my god.
I love you, Rekka.
That's Mathin when we play a modern day setting right
Cosplay,
there.
You're my favorite person ever.
All right, so I'm gonna take a hack and slash at this guy. Dex base because my sword's precise. 9.
Hack and slash away.
$13.
That cleaves him in two. This other archer shoots at you.
Yay.
And roll me 2d6. That archer shoots at you and misses utterly and completely.
Utterly?
Utterly?
Oh wait, he's a male goat, sorry.
What? Oh, well, that's the wrong kind of milk.
But you tried, Dio, and that's the important part.
Who would like to go next?
I'll go.
Yes.
Where am I going?
Wherever you would like.
To hell if you
I'm
don't
going
enjoy it.
over here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Here. And I'm gonna hear this guy.
Absolutely.
Right in the fucking
I love that that's what you're calling that move.
He gets yaw.
gets healed.
So
For a massive 2 damage.
No. Go
3
ahead and
after
reroll-
my +1.
Go ahead and re-roll that. Jaylin, as a fighter, once per battle, can cause any damage roll to re-roll. So I don't know how you're getting an assist, but you're getting an assist. Go ahead and re-roll that.
Re-roll your damage. Do at least 3.
That's great.
And there you go.
That was so funny.
And this archer goes, dwarven cunt whore, and fires off an arrow. Roll 2d6 for me.
I like to imagine that as like Meredith was attacking the one, Jaylin basically dodged the arrow that was aimed at him, and then it just plugged the dude in the
And
shoulder.
his arrow misses.
Aww. Sucks to be him.
What are these orcish stormtroopers?
Yes, yes, they are.
Okay, next, let's go Elle.
Alright. And Elle's gonna completely ignore what the others are doing, and she's gonna charge at this guy.
She's
Do
making
it.
her way inside. Okay. Making her way downtown.
And it looks like this guy that you are charging at is some kind of magic user who is kneeling by some imagine a metal can that has amethyst stones piled on top that are like coals, and he has his hands over it like he's sucking in arcane energy like it was a battery. And he does not see you coming.
Alright, I'm gonna
Three
take
bucks, 6 for the
backstab on
follow.
that damage then.
Yes. That is, you stab in, and he kind of like his hands were there over the stones, and he drops his hands into the stones, and he lets out this wild shriek. And roll 2d10 for me.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
He explodes himself. He just detonates. He detonates the stones that he was imbibing off, and you were kind of there with him. You are flung all the way back in the air and land and hit the ground for 11 points of damage. You also land conveniently near Kethra.
Yay!
Yeah, and Elle's just gonna get back up and start charging in that direction again.
The treant is going to lumber that way while you're doing that.
It's like the Elle comes flying out. Ah, spot right. And it's like, hey, are you okay? And Elle just gets right back up, starts marching right back in.
Kendra, if there's anything you would like to do or say to Elle before she runs back into combat, you are free to, or you can take any other action.
Before Elle runs back into combat, I see that she took a pretty hard hit, and I would like to cure light wounds.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna roll 1d8.
Not so fast, girly.
Cast the spell and then roll to heal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
because that's right. Yeah.
I think that's a wisdom roll?
Yeah, cleric spells are wisdom.
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
That's enough.
Ooh, what's your downside though?
The downside is going to be that Elle is running so fast that instead of 1d8 heal, it's going to be 1d6.
Well, there you go.
It's like you were preparing the spell and she's just zipping off.
Can I down that potion while she's running?
Sure, you can down your potion and you get 1x back from Kethra.
It's like putting a band-aid over a bullet hole.
So that should bring me back to full health.
Excellent. Weregoat.
Yes.
Take a target. Pick a target.
Did Jaylin call out anything about wanting to to keep this catapult?
Yeah, he actually yells, "Keep this one intact!" as he rushed for the archer. He's talking about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's still this archer. This one is actually on the back line, or the front line, still fighting tree ants up there, so that's not to worry. And then this one is shot at Meredith and missed.
Right.
As far as, like, still actively engaged.
Just 2 seconds, I accidentally backed out. I'm just loading in again.
No worries. And is everyone okay with game running a little long today?
No.
I'm fine.
I mean...
Okay.
Gumpton.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
I would like to charge this archer.
Absolutely.
Just head down charge and then just horns right into the gut. Ooh.
Yep. Just going for the impale.
Oh.
Remember, Mathin, use your horns, not your head.
God. I'm not going to make you roll your damage. You literally impale him on one of your horns and run him through, and then with just a savage jerk of your head, you're able to throw the corpse off when you want to.
I climb onto the catapult.
Can I assist Jaylin and use my horns to, like, maneuver the catapult round, like, to turn it?
Absolutely. The two of you are going to get your opportunity to arrange the catapult. And which of the other catapults are you going to fire it at?
We're going to start here, just because Meredith is close to this one. But yeah, we're gonna aim for this area to start.
Oh, right. And can I get a dex roll from both of you? And I need you to simply not botch.
I hate when she says those words.
All you have to do is roll above a 6.
I believe in you, Math.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, Yubi, for these people, that's harder than it sounds.
What do you mean, these people?
You know exactly what I mean.
Mathin.
Sorry, what am I rolling?
That's
Dex
okay.
roll.
Make a dex roll for Mathin. This is just to make sure you maneuver it properly for it.
Yeah, we're both operating a catapult right now.
Okay, a
Yay!
9. Double rolled.
The 9.
All right. And one of you roll 2d10.
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I guess I will. What?
Wow.
What?
4 is enough to set the catapult itself on fire, but it is not enough to hit everybody else that was around it.
GG, Jaylin. GG. No, you know what? Catherine's actually going to see that and yell out across the field. Nice job, scrub.
Jaylin, roll Constitution for me.
Oh God.
Stop fucking taunting the werewolf, please.
No, scrub is actually 9.
It's kind of a term of endearment between them now. But to
Yeah.
everybody else, it's just her being bitchy.
Take +1 forward, because now you need to impress the girl.
Oh God.
And meanwhile, there's a treant that is entering the city with Elle. That has people's attention inside. And you hear a bunch of orcs swearing and coming away from whatever else they were doing to deal with the treant and Elle. And I want to deal with the two of you guys first, I think.
So can I, ask the treant to throw me behind these orcs?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
And
That's what I'm gonna do.
I am going to give you that for free, because you have such a high dex that you're able to land gracefully and take your action. Which of these guys in particular do you want to land behind?
I'm gonna go for this fucker. They look dangerous.
Which one? The
This one.
spellcaster? Oh, that one. Absolutely. He's got a whip of some kind and a long, shanking sword. And you, however, are straight behind him and you get a back attack. Yeah, roll your damage.
I'm gonna put myself in danger to take the extra d6.
Okay. You shank him.
He is
Yeah.
shanked.
Yeah, he's just gonna be bleeding out on the floor.
And now I need you to make a defy danger roll as you got the spellcaster is casting at you. Roll wisdom.
God damn it. Not so much, god damn it.
And roll 1d4.
One, 4. Damn.
The spellcaster thrust its hand out at you, and its spell clipped you, and you weren't able to resist it. You have, for the rest of this fight, a -4 penalty on your dex. You
Wow.
have been slowed.
I swear to god, your lizard is dying.
Do not take this out on my lizard. However, I'm going to let you roll something for me. Roll for the treant. Roll 2d6 plus 3. And now roll 1d10 for me. He smushed the orc. And roll 1d6 for me. And this other guy went stabby on him. And this other guy is moving in to attack. All right. We're going to pause you guys there for a minute and go back up here. Meredith.
Mm-hmm.
Take an action.
What kind of action would you like me to take?
Any kind you would like.
Any kind I would like. I think I'm going to take a yaw
Oh, that's my favorite kind of action.
on this motherfucker.
Do it.
I'm just gonna, like, one by one go around fucking taking down these orcs.
Okay.
That's a damage roll without an actual hack and slash. I pressed the wrong button. Just
That's
pretend
okay.
those are in
You
the
did
other
it
order.
backwards, absolutely. You hack him and drew her attention. So roll 2d6 for me. And we're gonna see if she hits you.
No, Meredith, where we come from, it's traditional to roll to hit before you roll your damage.
Yeah, well, where I come from, we don't roll below a 6 that often, so it doesn't matter too much.
Words to note: orc archers blow goats.
Blow goats?
Blow goats. They
blow goats.
They blow goats. So speaking of the goat,
Oh.
as I move
Oh
you
no.
Mathin. Jaylin has at this point in time, the catapult in hand, but it looks like it's going to need to be recharged or refilled. And the glowing balls of stuff that they put in require hands to load one in and then put oil on it and then set it on fire. It is not goatly thing a goatly thing to do. So
Yep.
I would suggest you just pick a new target and go running amok.
Okay. So
And Jaylin, roll int.
I
while
kind of
he's
like to
doing
just
Okay.
go like barreling down the rest of the catapults, trying to distract the the sort of engineers.
You need to make up, Laurel.
Oh, are you going to go rolling down them, like literally barreling them all over?
Yeah, just trying to distract them as much as possible, injure any if I can, but just basically to slow their use of the catapults for the ends.
Roll hack and slash for me. Yeah, goat bowling. That's exactly what we're doing.
Ooh.
So that's what, 11?
11. Roll your damage for me. You take that guy out entirely and reach this guy, and instead of firing his catapult, he is going to try and stab a spear into you. And these guys are going to shoot at you. Roll 2d6 for me. And roll 2d6 for me again. One of them just missed you completely. And now take 1d6 in damage.
Holy shit, the stormtroopers managed to hit.
One of them did. One of them stabbed, got a goat into, got a
Spear
roll
into me.
a spear into Mathin. But currently you have
What, 3 armor?
3 armor, so you just take 2 points of damage.
Yeah.
And now roll a 1d6 again. And take another 2 points of damage.
Ooh.
Because you got
Okay.
speared and shot at. All right, Jaylin,
Yeah.
you figure out how these catapults work.
Yeah, he's like muttering as he's going through this process. Puts his hands and gets it cranked up for another shot. He's gonna take one.
Do it.
Aiming ahead of the goat. And that's dex base. 8.
8. Roll. Was it
2d10?
1d10 or 2d10
It was 2d10.
last time? Roll 2d10.
10.
All right. You take out the catapult and pick one of the orcs that was close to it.
This one catches on fire.
You kill that orc. Meanwhile,
back at the ranch. Well, actually, Kethra, what you up to?
yes, let's get to Kethra.
Jaylin calls back and he goes, "How's that?"
And I'm just gonna laugh and shake my head and say, "Not bad. You still need to get good." But she is also going to cast Bless on him because she knows he's trying so hard to impress her. And he doesn't know it, but she's gonna give him a 1. She's gonna try to give him a 1-up.
Yes. All right. Thanks to you all, these 3 treants in the northwestern section have all moved forward. And the spellcaster is moving back to try and give herself a little bit of range. And he's moving back to give himself a little bit of range. And what they don't seem to realize right at that moment is they've just put themselves in Meredith's range. I will let you make an attack of some kind that could actually hit them both if you would like. If you roll 10 or better.
Is that me?
That's you, honey.
So if I roll 10 or better?
Yes.
I'm gonna roll 10 or better, guys. Aww.
So close. Pick a
Can I have a
target.
plus one? I'll take the bigger one.
Okay. Bigger one?
Yeah, 2 damage. Yay.
You thunk him, but he was actually wearing some real armor. And you catch him enough off of guard that he's not able to respond right now. And Spellcaster Girl doesn't realize that you're behind her yet. She's still firing at the treant.
So essentially, the enemies put Meredith on hold.
Yes, they have. Elle, time to get back down to you.
So can I try something crazy?
Always.
Since I have a connection to this dagger, can I try and draw some power out of it somehow?
Roll intelligence. Yes. You are. What would you like to do?
I would like to draw some power out and try and cast some sort of spell back at that caster there.
By all means.
I have no idea what this spell is going to be. All I know is it's pretty much our only chance.
Just describe the effect of the spell.
Well, I'd imagine, like, after Elle's just desperately trying to get something out of it, just maybe this dark flame comes out of it and starts just condensing into a ball.
It condenses. It explodes out of you, and it just strikes the wizard down. And pleasure ripples through you. Elle is not a creature of those kinds of pleasures. It has always been you do not make camp. But the sensation of killing that wizard in that way gives you almost that kind of sensation. The way how vampires feel when they drink their victims. That the seductiveness of using magic to kill. We'll chat more about that later.
Yay.
Meanwhile, the treant makes short work of those people and comes lumbering behind you. Elle, make a constitution roll. Just don't botch.
I'm not planning on it. Don't say that. You're gonna make me.
You do not feel, however, the urge to use that power upon the treant.
Yay.
And, yeah.
So hold on. Now we've got Mathin who can go into a rage, Jaylin, and now Elle.
Yeah. Oh, and Meredith too, just by her barbarian nature. She just doesn't use it very often.
So we just need to find something to piss Kefra off.
I imagine if Jaylin was put in the wrong situation, Cather would get pretty pissed.
Don't give them ideas.
Mathin, would you like
Yes.
to continue your charge?
I would.
Martkos, I saw that, by the way. You think I don't read chat?
You do not have to roll to hit, you just have to roll damage. That takes him out, and you keep going.
Awesome.
In fact, go ahead and roll damage again. Okay. Yeah, this guy is where you stop. Would you like to make a defy danger constitution roll? And just continue to proceed forward even with people stabbing at you. That's enough for you to keep continuing on. And roll 1d6 twice for me. There's 2. You take another 2 points of damage. The other, yeah. Alrighty. Jaylin, are you going to work the catapult one more time, or are you going to take a different kind of attack?
Yeah, he'll work the catapult one more time. He's gonna aim for this general area, so maybe he can catch that catapult, but he kind of wants to clear out these guys right around here.
Sure. Make your dex check.
This is gonna be +2 to whatever I roll because of the +1 forward to impress Kethra and the bless.
Yes.
So the 10.
And roll your damage. 2d10.
Hey, Senna. 13.
That cleared out some of the area. Kethra.
Yes, ma'am.
You notice at this point you have Jaylin up to your north, Elle who had gone to the east, and you can of course see the treant lumbering through. And Meredith who's still got some people around her. Where would you like to go? What would you like to do?
So I do have a question. These trees up like here, are they on fire?
Yes, they are.
If you come past Jaylin, he'll toss you his vial of water.
I was just gonna ask if I could do that.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, so Catherine's got to run past Jaylin and just scream, "I need your water now!"
So just make a single defy danger dex roll, which is going to be to get through everything else, to have the water, catch it, and to apply it to the tree all in one nice swoop. All right. You are going to be able to catch the water, and you have a choice. You can go apply it right away, but risk getting an attack from behind, or you can catch the water and deal with that orc.
I am going to risk it and go for the tree.
Excellent.
As you catch the water and run by, he goes, "Not bad, Pixie."
And I just look at him with an arched eyebrow like, "Oh, we will talk about this later, young man."
Baby, I bet they will.
Alrighty. Catherine, roll 2d6 for me. The spell hits you. Roll 1d8. You are able to save the tree. You get blasted by the orc. The orc, however, has now left itself completely open to Meredith. And Meredith, you do not even need to roll for me. You can simply describe to me what you do to the orc.
I'm gonna come in with my axe and I'm just gonna take its head. Just kinda casually.
You decapitate it.
Its head is mine.
Yeah. All right. Mathin, we're going to go back to you. There are still 2 more orcs within bowling range.
Yes.
Roll damage. That takes them out. And roll damage.
Every time.
Every time. All right. All of a sudden, everybody who's still alive within this area is racing forward to circle around Mathin. Roll me defy danger. Dex or con or strength or whatever you would like it to be.
Hmm.
Oh
Ooh.
no. Oh no.
The spearman gets underneath you and jabs up into your belly. As arrows are flying in other directions. And roll 2d8 for me, and this is the total amount of damage done. And you'll soak 3 of it from armor.
Ignore that.
Wow. None of it actually penetrates, however.
No, I misspelled
roll.
that.
That was
That
two
was
S8.
rolling
2
S8s. Like he's rolling Samson phones.
11.
So, you take 9 points of damage from them all. All right. Jaylin and Meredith, Kethra, you turn around and you see who struck you. And you see them laying on the ground because Meredith just took their head. You guys all see the treants arrive there, and they dismantle all of that. So your quadrant is now clear. And except for this one, yeah, no, even that spellcasting orc is going to go try and deal with the goat too. And you see, however, that Mathin is just being surrounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jaylin's gonna first check on Kethra.
Yes.
To make sure she's okay. And then I would actually like to have him consult his blade. Using
Roll
heirloom.
wisdom. Roll wisdom.
Just a second.
And for the record, while he's doing that, he goes to check on her, and she smiles, but she's like really worried about Mathin because there are a ton of orcs around him. And while he's a weregoat, now is not the time to be flirting with the cute girl.
That's gonna be 8.
The sword, as you draw upon its wisdom, you have sort of an insight that Mathin is a defender of this forest. If you simply call out to the tree ants to lend him their aid, they will immediately turn and do so.
Jaylin raises the sword in the air because it tends to glow when he does these things with it. And he calls out in a voice loud enough that it hopefully carries, and goes, "Your defender requires aid," and he points in Mathin's direction. But he also his other hand grips onto the Wolf Alpha necklace that he has.
Ooh. Immediately, the treants start moving. And you feel them all. So they're kind of converging in other directions. And this one stays behind long enough to dismantle that.
Okay.
Before it starts to move. All right. And so Mathin is encircled, and those attacking him are now getting encircled. And you guys, Meredith, what would you like to do?
Not entirely sure what else there is to do. Like, I think the treants more or less would have this under control now, yeah?
You could help kill them for funsies.
What was that?
You could help kill them for funsies.
I could help kill them for
kill them for
funsies.
funsies. Yes. All right. And Jaylin and Kethra, what are the two of you going to do? Because after you tell me, I'm just going to turn this into a narrative.
Yeah, Jaylin would also head in that direction so that if the treants are overwhelmed or it looks like there's an opening for him to also help, like, he's not going to just watch this battle play out. He's going to get his friend out of there.
Right. And Elle, I have not forgotten about you, but at this point, you don't need to roll. I simply am going to ask you something in private. And that'll take me a moment, guys.
Uh-huh. I see how it is.
So, just say, like, as the others are running along and you see Mathin, like, he looks wild, and there's, like, blood and foam coming from his mouth. And each time he, like, heaves because he's panting, he's full of arrows. There's scrapes and cuts all over him, and every time he breathes out, you just see, like, bubbles after that spear sunk in his chest, because he is hurt right now.
He's a bubble goat.
And Mathin sees the treants closing in and his friends behind it, and Jaylin looks ready to tear into whatever he can get his hands on. Gotta clear a path for Kethra.
Yep.
All right, I have asked Elle my question. I'm just waiting for the answer there.
42.
Could Jaylin turn into a werewolf and Kethra ride him through the battle?
if she nudges him and says shift, he would.
You know what? I'm gonna do it. Yeah, let's do it. If our GM would be so kind to allow that.
The GM would happily allow that.
All right. She's got herself a werewolf who's clearing a path so she can get to Mathin to heal him.
What happens then happens very quickly, which is you have Mathin rising up, hitting orcs with his hooves, goring with his hooves. You have the treants just ripping shit apart. And Elle, yes, you can. And you guys just get to kind of go into that feeling of satisfying war where you just kind of lose yourself into the momentum of it. And it could have been 2 minutes, it could have been 10 minutes, it could have been half an hour before all of you kind of come out of that sensation, and there isn't anything left but you guys. And one of the tree ants, I know you guys saved this one, implore you to help their brothers.
Jaylin would continue to carry Kethra from tree ant to tree ant so they can douse them with water.
Excellent. So I'm just going to remove the burning ones, and you can imagine that they are there.
There are more, yeah.
That, and the tree ants ask you, Mathin, is there more that you need of them? Because being in this desecrated place is sapping their strength, and they would like to retreat to the edge of the forest and start trying to recover their strength and then see what they can do for the earth itself.
And yeah, he would say that they will take care of the rest, and that they are free to leave to start repairing the damage.
Alrighty. So you guys get all of that done, and kind of come out of it realizing that Elle is not with you.
Jaylin is sniffing around.
Is Blue with us?
Blue is not with you. But Iago and Blue do come out of hiding and join you. Blue is making kind of a quiet whimpering sound deep in his throat.
Jaylin, who's still a werewolf, is like, Blue, where's Elle?
Blue gives you a strange look and then creeps nervously towards the city.
Jaylin starts to make his way in the way that he last saw Elle go in. So like he has to come all the way around, you know. Uh-oh, there's some typing from Kethra.
And Blue leads you guys in. God damn it, I hate it when that happens.
They're huge!
Oh my god!
Are you making new tokens every time you change maps? I think there's a way
No,
to
but
move tokens
but
between
what
maps.
I had done with the two of them is I'd actually lost them to the side, so this time I brought those two in, and I accidentally clicked something weird. But that's good enough for now.
The reason they're appearing so big is because for some reason you're, like, as the GM, you've managed to turn it off grid for you, but we as the players still have to stick to the grid.
Oh, okay.
And basically, normally if you drag a token in, it makes it to the size of the grid, but if there's no grid, it makes it to the size of the token.
Oh. Oh, now I know how to fix that.
I don't know where you got that picture for Iago. Is it just something from Roll20?
No, I picked that. I picked that after looking at James and going, what would a little young James a happy James look like?
Oh, we don't even fucking know that.
Yeah. Well, what is this happy James you speak of?
And Blue leads you guys in.
Uh-huh.
And you see Elle. And you see Elle has rounded up all of the civilians. And there are 7 of them that are kind of surviving. And by civilians, I mean they're like the woodcutters and craftsmen and engineers. And there are bodies all over the village itself, where it looks like she took out about 2/3 of them and has left and herded together about 7 of them. And she's just smiling in that intimidating way of hers and tapping her new dagger kind of against one of her arms. Elle, you look up or you hear Blue and everybody else arrive. Oh, and Mr. Treant's going to go join his people.
Yeah, I don't want to do that in front of a tree.
What about the goat?
Mathin, are you staying a goat?
No, I think he would be back in his human form. His elf form, I should say.
You leave the goat out there.
You leave the goat alone, okay? He's not done nothing to no one.
I don't know, those orcs might disagree.
Huh, grid was enabled. I don't know why. What I've
Yeah,
done.
grid's enabled for us, but for some reason it's not for you. Because we have to stick to the grid.
I don't know. The mysteries that are the Roll20 sometimes elude me.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mathin is his normal happy self now? Yes.
Yes.
It's looking a bit long-faced. There we
Okay.
go.
There we go. Hack. Mathin and Kethra, roll me wisdom.
Cool.
Mathin, it's just kind of these 7 that are left, they are still defilers of the forest. They are still corrupted by the orcs. They, unlike the kobolds, which were just a natural species, these are creatures that are abominations to the forest, and there is no way to save them except to just kill them and burn all the bodies. And Kethra, you are going to be getting a message from me.
Ooh, I like this.
I don't. Last time I got a message, it was to ask how many people I killed.
Yes. The answer is yes.
It's so very quiet in here.
We're all goating around.
No.
We will role play with each other for a minute.
Ooh,
Oh,
it's a
nice.
play.
Doing the talking, I know.
I mean,
Is
Elle
Mathin healed up at all? Like, I know
Nope.
Jaylin cleared the path. Okay, you know, I'm gonna go over to Mathin and lay hands on this boy and heal him up.
I would kind of
Hands on
appreciate
this
that.
boy.
What was the name of that goddess again? The one that Jaylin was asking
Cibele?
about? No, the one that Jaylin was asking about earlier.
Artio?
Artio. Yeah, that's
Artio.
right.
I would actually like to use what is it? Cure moderate wounds.
Oh, I see how it is. Elle nearly dies and gets a cure light wounds.
Well, here's the thing. I can do cure light wounds as much as I want because I've taken it as a move based on my abilities. I can only use cure moderate wounds once.
Ever?
Well, until I commune with my deity next.
Oh, okay. My goodness.
Launching
then
werewolf
I-
temple.
Well,
You should get to keep it though, because you rolled so high though.
I get to roll a 2d8 on you.
That is so cool.
There
Ooh,
you go.
nice. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Alrighty, everybody is back. And Iago is giving Elle kind of an odd look and he goes, "Are you okay?"
Elle was just gonna remain silent.
I would like to call Iago back over to Jaylin. Just say, Iago, go see Jaylin.
And Iago looks confused, but does.
Jaylin is still a werewolf, mind you.
Okay. Kethra trusts Jaylin.
Don't make her regret it.
Do not make her rub your belly in public in front of the kid.
He's
Oh,
peering.
baby.
Oh, God.
Not in front of the kid, though. That's crazy.
Oddly enough, Blue goes 2.
And Kethra would like to approach Elle and ask if she's all right.
And
And
again,
when
Elle's
she
gonna
does
say
this, though,
nothing.
when she does this, she's going to place her hands on Elle's shoulders so that she has to face Kethra.
Elle, what do you do when Kethra touches you?
Elle just looks at Kefra with that smile still on her face.
That Kethra, that's when you really look at the dagger.
And you said that it had a stone of amethyst?
Yes.
Is it possible for me to either spout lore or discern realities?
Spout lore.
Oh.
And I'll take my XP.
Oh.
You have no idea what's going on, but your mind just keeps playing back to the vision. and seeing the way as the brother was being sent off, that you saw something fly into the eye of the mother, and then the vision of what the mother became. And there's just a nagging, foreboding sense of wrongness about Elle at the moment and the way Blue is acting.
Is there any way that I can try to convince her to hand the dagger over to me?
Yeah, you can role play it out. You could try parlay or charisma, but I would rather see just the two of you guys role play it out and see what happens.
All right. So I'm just going to look Elle in the eye and I say, this isn't the Elle that I know. I think you need to drop that dagger.
No. This dagger makes me strong.
You were strong without that dagger.
Not this strong.
Mathin.
Yes.
Flashbacks to childhood. Flashbacks to all those elves on the island and the justifications that your mother and others made for the things they did to humans, for the things they did to men. Elle is talking in the exact same way.
Okay, and he is
She.
no Mathin.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Elle.
No. Yeah, Mathin is scared by this and angry that he's having to deal with this again after so long. He thought he had gotten away from it.
Is he going to do something specifically?
Yeah, he's going to walk over and say, let me think. Think of where you got that dagger. You need to realize that this is doing something to you. You're not yourself.
Roll charisma plus bond to Elle.
Oh.
And take your XP.
This man, this so-called friend, is clearly jealous of your new power. He wants you weak. He wants you beneath him. Every instinct of yours turns towards him and these others as threats.
I'm going to give him a little demonstration of the power.
Oh God.
I would like to interfere.
Everyone who would like to attempt to interfere can roll for interfering. Meredith and Kethra, yeah, you guys are particularly close.
I would like to interfere via a roar. So
Okay.
Charisma.
Meredith will try and physically stop her.
All right. Jaylin rolls. Meredith rolls.
I'm just gonna step in front of Mathin. Would that be Constitution?
Yes. All right. Elle, you are suddenly Kethra is there in your line of sight. Meredith is grabbing for you, and you hear that wolf beast behind you, daring to roar. And
Can I make a constitution roll?
yes, what are you going to be doing with it? Well, never mind.
I was gonna be attempting to snap out of it, but you know.
Yeah, that's actually good. Yazori, that's a good point. And I just sent you a whisper.
Meredith, if you would like to make a shield or basically do a bash roll to knock her out, I will let you do that. Otherwise, roll your normal damage.
I will totally make a bash roll to knock her out.
All right. You got your 9, so roll damage and or I'm actually going to have and Elle make a second constitution roll. Roll 10 or better. Thank you. That was a good one for you to actually botch. Elle crumples. Basically, you get a love tap. Meredith comes and says, Meredith, do you literally say, smile at her and say hi as you knock her out?
No. This isn't the time for hellos.
This is the time for goodbye.
I swear to God, I better get some good fucking camp off Meredith later.
Is it the time for a hello?
Hello, team? Hello?
Elle goes out. She lets go of the dagger. You see that the dagger has imprinted a sigil in her hand. And Kethra and Mathin and Meredith can all make a lore roll. Jaylin doesn't because Jaylin has amnesia.
Hey, he can remember. Well, okay, fine.
It's not bad for a -1.
That is not bad for a -1. Go
I'll
ahead and take
XP.
Yeah, take your XP. Give me just a moment as I have to look something up really quick.
I do have a quick question about the dagger.
Yeah.
Is the power distributed through touch? Or the hold that the dagger had on Elle, is that something that she got because she touched it? Like, if Kethra wanted to pick it up because she wants to get it away from Elle, like if I wrapped it in a cloth or something, would that protect me from being affected by it? Or is it something internally to her?
You get the sense that something more than just touch went on.
Okay.
That there was definitely something more than that.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of desperation after the GM gave me a -4.
Fair enough. I'm still going to. I think Kethra's still going to take precaution, and she's going to pull like a handkerchief or something out of her bag and wrap it around the knife, and she's going to pick it up and take it. She does not want Elle to have that. She does not like what Elle becomes when she's got that dagger.
Jaylin is actually, even though he's kind of far away, he's looking at Kethra holding the dagger, and he's just kind of just growling at it.
Yeah. And Kethra, you recognize that symbol isn't elven, it's actually draconic. Mathin, that is not the draconic symbol of the amethyst dragon, who is the dragon of chaos and darkness incarnate. And he is actually a dragon who befriended the demons. And you have heard stories of the amethyst dragon growing up down on the island, and it was an entity that even scared the matriarchs of Rune Shadow Isle. And one of the reasons they sacrifice the children to that volcano god down there is to keep the volcano god down there powerful enough to fight Grakina. And the reason they hate humans, or one of their excuses to use humans, is that it had visited the island in the form of a male human named Wero, and had done some terrible things to the queen at the time. And so this is something that she has touched that even your own people despise and despair over. And I will let you guys describe that all as you please, to whoever you please, when you please.
Yeah. For now,
doesn't-
Mathin's just going to say to Kethra to keep close guard on that dagger and do not let it out of her sight. And whatever happens, do not give it back to Elle.
And I'm just gonna nod.
Really? We're stealing things from Elle?
For now.
Stealing evil things from Elle, yes.
It's not
Elle?
evil.
Blue comes over and licks Elle's face. And now that the dagger is out of her hand, is just kind of nudging her and licking her and whining. And then he drifts over to this building and gives Kethra and Mathin and Meredith kind of an expectant look.
And I'm not gonna know what to do, so I'm just gonna pull out some dungeon rations and be like, food? Okay, what?
and he whines and he like nudges at the building. And as you look at it, you see the same elven runes upon it that you'd seen upon the pillars. And that particular building must have been the actual temple. Or the temple, it's that, and the rest of this is just constructions around it. And they've kind of built around the original temple and have used it for something. Meanwhile, as you guys were all focused on Elle, those civilians ran the fuck out of there. They just took a path and booked it.
Jaylin is actually just going to pick Iago up on his shoulders.
All
so
right.
now he gets to ride the werewolf around.
Yay!
And just march back over to the others. Let the ones that are running run. And he's still looking at where that dagger is kept because he wants to try to destroy it, but he's not going to say that.
Well, I kind of have plans for that dagger now.
So does Mathin.
So does Elle.
So does Meredith, not actually, though.
All right. Would the group like to enter the temple at the start of the next game?
Yes.
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 That is where we're going to call it.
Yay!
This was an amazing session, you guys.
Is there a place
Yeah.
in town that they can kind of claim as a spot to rest up? Some of us have been throwing spells and taking damage and stuff.
Yes.
I think Elle's claimed displace thanks to Meredith.
This the former temple is definitely the safest and purest place in the town. The rest of the orcs ran the hell out of there. And the land itself, the treants are gathering to perform their own restoration upon. So basically, you have a wall of treants around you all, and this is a safe place to rest.
Good to know.
Yes.
All
Poop,
right.
I am going to let you wrap up screen, and then we will do game wrap up.
And I need food. Guys.
That's what food.
Guys, thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow morning with some Final Fantasy 14 and some other stuff. Yay! Or maybe who knows? Like, maybe we'll play other games because we like to play other games here. Thank you for spending the morning with us, though. And, yeah, congrats again, Yarzori, on your minion. Hope to be doing some more giveaways here soon. Have a great day. I'm not going to host anybody. I'll let it just auto-host because I think we got a little small bunch here, and I don't want to, like, get anybody's hopes up. But go out there and pay some love to the other amazing casters, both on the Aethernet and on Dream, my 2 teams, and also out there streaming Final Fantasy 14 because you know we love their faces. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!